Alright, this video we will go through a maths trial paper. This is the Terengganu trial. So Terengganu 2024, and it's a maths paper, and this is paper 1. Okay. Alright, so let's start with question 1. Okay, this is question number 1. So let's read the question. Given the number sequence 70, 65, 60, 55, dot, 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 determine which term in the number is 35. All right. They are asking you which term gives you 35. So we all know this is the first term. So this I will call it T1 for now. All right. First term. The second term I will call it T2. This one I call it term number 3. This one term number 4. And they're asking you which term is 35, right? So how do we know which term is 35? First of all, let's see what is the pattern first. So 70 becomes how to become 65? You have to minus 5, right? And if you look at this, here also minus 5. Here also minus 5. So the pattern is really minus 5, minus 5, minus 5. So the formula we will use is to get the Tn, it will be a plus n minus 1d. All right. Let me explain why I will use this formula. Because to get the nth term, you are taking the first term, which is the a, plus with n minus 1d, and d is the difference, right? And since the pattern here is minus 5, minus 5, minus 5 every times, so it's like the first term will be, let's say you want to get third term, right? The T3. What you are doing is you can take your first term, which is 70, and then plus with 2, 3 minus 1, which is 2 lah, times with negative 5, right? Because why? Because to get the third term, you have to take the first term minus 5 two times, right? If you want to find T3, you minus 5 two times. If you want to find T4, you minus 5 three times. So it's like, that's why you have to take n minus 1. Understand? So that's why you have to minus 5 two times if you want to get T3, right? But of course, now that's not what they're asking, right? They're asking you which term is 35. Okay, so what you do is you make that the term. 35 it will be the term, and then the a will be the first term, which is 70, and the n minus 1, the n is what you're trying to find now. You're trying to find which term, so you're trying to find n. And then for the d, the difference is negative 5. Okay, so now you can just find your n, but you have to pindah lah. So you have to pindah 70 first. So when you move this, it becomes minus 70. 35 minus 70 is negative 35. And then here we're left with n minus 1 times with negative 5. So when you times inside, expand, you get negative 5n. Negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. Okay, let me continue here. We are trying to find n, so let's try to make it positive. So negative 5n, move over here, become positive 5n. And then negative 35, I can move it here, become 5 plus 35, which gives you 5n equals 40, and then n equals 40 divide 5. All right, times pindah jadi divide, so n equals 8. So the answer is C. That means the 8th term is 35. All right. Okay, another way to do it is you can straight away just use your calculator and minus. It means you try to take 55 minus 5. The next number is what? 50, right? And then the next one will be 45. And then minus 5 again, 40. Minus 5 again, 35. And sudah sampai lah 35. And you count how many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see you also end up with the same answer. So if you want to do it like that, can also, right? Can also. All right, so that's how I would do it. So hope you understand. Okay, let's continue. Number 2, Encik Aryan bought a car worth RM 60,000 on credit. Okay, when you buy car, you don't pay the full amount. Okay, you will not pay the full amount. You will pay a down payment first, right? You pay a down payment, and the down payment is usually like 10%, 15%, 20%, like that. And then the remaining balance, you will pinjam bank. Okay, you will pinjam bank, and you will pay it back to the bank. But when you pay it back to the bank, they will charge you interest. Okay, but the good thing is you can pay it monthly by using monthly installment. Okay, so let's see what this question says. 60,000, this is the full amount. He paid deposit 15%. Deposit means down payment. Okay, it means he already paid 15. He only paid 15% first. Okay, and then the balance was paid installment for 5 years. So 15%, he paid it already. The remaining, how many percent? 100 minus 15, 85%. So the remaining 85%, this one, pinjam bank. Okay, the pinjam bank, and he will pay in installment for 5 years, right? So this five is T, all right? And later we have to use the PRT formula. This formula is to calculate the interest. Okay, I equals PRT. Yeah, the interest charged by the bank lah. So the installment is 5 years, T is 5. The flat interest rate charged by the bank is 3%. So this will be the R later. The R which is 0.03. Okay. 3% means 3 divided 100. And then they say what is the total of repayment that must be paid by Encik Aryan. So what they're asking you to find out the total amount yang you kena bayar balik kepada bank. It means you pinjam 85%, but what is the total repayment? The total loan repayment, right? That's what they are asking. Okay, first let's take 85% times 60,000 first, right? So 85% times 60,000. Okay, you will get answer here. Let's use calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 51K. So 51K is the amount you go and pinjam from the bank. But when you pinjam from the bank, you don't tell me like when you repay to the bank, you repay this amount also. No, when you repay, you will repay. They will charge you interest, and we have to find the interest now. The formula for interest is PRT. So P will be the principal, which is the amount you pinjam, 51K, times with the rate, which is 0.03, and then times with the time lah, the T, which is 5 in this case. Okay, because 5 years. And after you press this, you will get the interest charged by the bank. Okay, I'm using my calculator. My calculator give me 7650. So this is the interest, but you have to plus with the 51K lah, because they're asking you to find total repayment. So the total repayment, the total amount yang you kena repay to the bank will be 51K plus with 7650. And after you plus, you will get the answer, which is 58650. So the answer is C. Okay. Okay, let me change the question. What if I said find monthly installment? Okay. Because most of the time, if the soalan want to make it like susah a bit, they will ask you to find monthly installment. Okay. So can you tell me how will you do that if they ask for monthly installment? Then you just take your total repayment, which is 58650. You divide 12 and then divide 5. Why divide 12? Because this is the total amount you have to pay over 5 years. Right? But you're asking monthly, so you divide 12 to get for 1 year first. And then after that, eh, sorry, it should be divide 5 first, right? Divide 5, divide 12. Okay, but it's the same lah. Yeah. If you divide 12, divide 5, it's the same thing. Okay, so let me explain it like this. You divide 5 because you want to get for 1 year how much you want to pay back first, right? And then why divide 12 to get 1 month lah? That's how you calculate monthly installment. So if they ask for monthly installment, take the total loan repayment, divide 5, divide 12, right? But this question, they never do that lah. Okay, but I want you to know this, this because usually they ask for monthly installment. Okay. But this question they ask for repayment, so the total amount is C. All right, that's all. Okay, let's continue with number 3. Express 9,950,000 in standard form. Okay, let's talk about standard form, bentuk piawai. Standard form means it looks like this: A times 10 power n. This is what we call bentuk piawai, standard form. Okay, but there's a few things to be careful here. We have to take note that this A would be a number yang ada decimal, but you have to make sure there's only one digit before the decimal. For example, 2.3 times 10 power 7. So this is a standard form, right? Why? Because this number is got decimal point, and before the decimal there's only one digit. Okay. If in front of the decimal got two digit, then we don't call it standard form. Okay. So if the decimal, if before decimal the other satu digit, it means you have to move the decimal. Okay, you have to move, maybe move to the right or move to the left. Okay, you have to move until before decimal got one digit. Okay, and the digit before decimal cannot be 0. Okay, then only we call it standard form. Okay, let me try one question with you. 9950000. Can you tell me where is the decimal point now? Where is the titik perpuluhan now? It's at the back here, right? Because you don't see it here means it's at the back here, right? So how do we make it standard form? I told you already, standard form, it has to be before decimal can only have one digit. So what do you think? I should move my decimal point to the left or to the right? Mesti lah to the left. If I move to the right, there will be more digit before the decimal, and it's not good. That's not what I want. I want one digit before my decimal, and so that's why I should move left. And you have to move until when? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You move until here, right? Why move until here? Because when your decimal point is here, then there's only one digit before the decimal, right? So now it becomes 9.95, right? Okay, when you move to the left, then your power have to plus. When you move to the right, the power have to minus. So you move to the left, right? It means times 10 power 6, right? You are moving your decimal to the left, it means the power have to plus. If moving to the right, the power have to minus. This one you need to remember this. So this is how you write in standard form. So the answer is A B C D. I think C. Yeah. Okay, B is not even standard form because before decimal got 2 digits. This one confirm not standard. So you know B and D is confirm wrong already, right? And also this one cannot. This is not standard form also because I told you already there should be 1 digit before decimal and the digit before decimal cannot be zero. Okay, so yeah, the correct answer is C lah. Okay, yeah. So that's how you do it. Okay, hope you understand. Okay, let's do number 4. I think this is Form 3, Chapter 3, the Savings and Investment chapter. Okay, the ROI. Okay, yeah, this one they ask for ROI. Okay, and January 1st, 2023, Encik Zaidi invested in Amanah Saham Nasional ASN shares. So he invests. Invest means like beli lah, beli like labor, melabur. It means like you spend money, So you spend money to buy some shares, purchasing 5,000 units at 1 ringgit 50 cents per unit. So I can already find the initial investment. Just take the 1.5 times 5,000. But let's not do that first. Let's read the whole question first. So for the financial year ending December 31st, 2023, Amanah Saham Nasional paid a dividend of 6%. So dividend is like a return lah. It's like a profit. Okay. Dia bonus lah. Dia macam bonus. And then on January 1st, 2024, Encik Zaidi sold all the shares. So at first he invest, right? He spent money to invest. Now he want to sold all the shares, but he sold it at a higher price, 1 ringgit 80 cents per unit. When he buy what 150 cents per unit. Now he sold all the units, all 5,000 units, but for 1 ringgit 80 cents. And then they say what is the return on investment for Encik Zaidi? So return on investment means they want to find ROI. Okay, ROI. Okay. So this one you learn in lower form, form 3. Okay, yeah, you learn in form 3. So the ROI formula you need to know. The formula is take the total return, divide initial investment times with 100. Okay, this is the formula to find ROI. Okay, and the ROI answer will always come out in percentage. Yeah, because you times 100. Oh, yeah, that's why you times 100 lah, right? The ROI is in percentage. All right. So what will be the total return for this guy? Okay, first of all, we need to find out our initial investment first. So remember just now they say he spent how much? He spent some money to buy 5,000 units, but 1 ringgit 50 cents per unit. So the amount he spent is 1.5 times 5,000. So let's press this, see what we get. Okay, my calculator give me 7,500. So what is this? This is the initial investment, okay? Or in simple words, is the buying price. Okay, is the amount he spent at first. Okay, the amount he spent to buy the shares. Okay, so he buy at this amount, he buy with this amount. And I remember he said something about selling, right? But before that, they got mention about dividend. So let's find out the dividend, 6%. And to get the dividend, you always times with the buying price. Yeah, always. Okay. Some student they will take the dividend, they times with the selling price. Salah. Dividend always times with the buying price, right? So if you want to know how much bonus, how much dividend you get, it will be 6% times with the 7,500. And you can press calculator, you get 450. So 450 is the amount of dividend. Dividend is a type of bonus, it's a type of untung. Okay, next one is he sold all the shares he owned at 1 ringgit 80 cent. So now we can find the selling price. It will be 1.8 times he sold all the shares, so times 5,000 also lah. Because 1 ringgit 80 cent is for 1 unit per unit. So he sell all 5,000 units, so the selling price have to times 5,000 lah. Alright, my calculator give me 9,000. And tell me what is the 9,000. 9,000 is when he sell. This is the amount he sell for this amount lah, 9,000, right? Okay, now tell me how to get the total return. Return means profit, it's like untung, So how to get the total return? You have to take the 9,000 minus the 7,500. Why I have to minus? Because when you sell, you get 9,000, right? But it doesn't mean that your profit is 9,000, right? So to get return is you have to take the selling price 9,000 minus with the amount you spend to buy the shares, 7,500. Because when you take the selling price minus the buying price, you get the profit, the return. And don't forget the 450 is also a type of return. So I have to plus 450 here, right? And then the formula I have to divide with initial investment. Initial investment is 7,500, right? And now you just have to press all this in your calculator. Okay, but I will press slowly. The 100 I will leave it. The 7,500 I will leave it. I will press this one first. 9,000 minus 7,500, and then plus 450. Okay, I get 1950. So now I press all this in my calculator and hopefully I ada jawapan lah. Okay, let me press. Okay, my calculator give me 26, right? And please don't forget ROI is always in percent. It means that the ROI, return on investment, is 26%. Okay, so ada jawapan lah. A is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, number five. 1305 base 6 minus x base 6 equals to 515 base 6. Apakah nilai x? What is the value of x? Okay, this is number based question, right? From 4 chapter. Alright, how to find x? Okay, some of you might do it like this. You go and sub 350. It means you try to take 1305 base 6 minus 350 base 6. And then you try to do like that. And then kalau tak dapat 515, you try with the next one. And then kalau tak dapat, try with the next one. Kalau tak dapat, try with the next one. Okay, if you do like that, can also, but it's very slow. It's very slow. Let me teach you a faster way. You can pindah, right? Since you're finding x, right? So you can pindah. How to pindah? Okay, if you try to find x, you can try to make it positive. And how you do that? Just move here. So when you move here, it becomes positive x power 6. So here left with what? Left with 1305 base 6. And then the 515 you can move over here. So it become minus 515 base 6. So now you can find your x. Just take 1305 base 6 minus 515 base 6. But please don't go and tekan your calculator. You don't go and press 1305 minus 515. You cannot do like that because this is not base 10. So you don't tell me you go and press 1305 minus 515. Cannot. Okay, if it's base 6. So for base 6 you can't just press like that. So the way to minus is we have to minus ourselves. Kita kena minus sendiri. Okay, no use calculator one. So when you take base 6 number minus base 6 number, you will end up with base 6 number also. Okay, but how to minus? Okay, very easy. Just do it like how you do it in sekolah rendah. Like when you belajar primary school, how you minus? You minus like that, right? Take the last digit minus the last digit. So 5 minus 5, 0. Just write like this. And then 0 minus 1, tak cukup. And then you pinjam, right? Okay, when you pinjam with 3, the 3 will become 2. Okay, but what happened to the 0? Okay, the 3 become 2 means you already pinjam here, right? But you pinjam how many? You pinjam 6 here. Because this is base 6. Okay, if it's base 10, you will pinjam 10 one, right? But this one is base 6. So that's why you pinjam 6. So now 6 can minus 1 become 5. Now you left with 2 minus 5. Okay, 2 minus 5, 2 cannot minus 5. So I have to pinjam. I have to borrow from the 1. Okay, the 1 when you borrow, when you pinjam, the 1 left with 0. But you pinjam how many there? You pinjam 6. Okay, you pinjam 6 because this is base 6. So when you pinjam 6, the 2 becomes 8 already. Because 2 plus 6. 2 plus 6. So now now you just take 8 minus 5, you get 3. So this is the answer. Right? So A. Okay, that's all. Okay, let's do number 6. Antara berikut yang manakah benar? Which of the following is true? Okay, of course you can do it. Okay, you can do it slowly. Okay, what do I mean by do it slowly? It means you go to A and then you try to convert this base 8 to base 10. Okay, and then you check whether it's true or not, and then you do the same for this, and then you do the same until you get the answer, right? But it's very slow actually. Let me tell you a faster way to do it. Can you see that all A B C D semua dia tulis 53 base 10, right? And then all on the right side it's all base 8, right? It's all base 8. So if you are smart what you can do? Change 53 base 10 to base 8. Because when you do that, you can straight away compare with the number on the right side. Because on the right side is also base 8, right? So if you do it like that, it's much more faster compared to kalau you tukar yang right side to base 10. Because if you tukar like that, you have to tukar for A, B, C, D. If A tak boleh, then you have to try with B, and it's very slow, right? So that's why I would prefer doing it like this. So change to base 8, so 53. Okay, how do we change a base 10 number to a smaller base? You have to use the divide method. Okay, the bahagi punya cara, because you are changing base 10 to base yang kecil, right? Base 8. So you have to divide. So the method looks like this. You have to divide, write remainder here, and then divide 8. Okay. Okay, 8 times what is 53? 8 times 6 is 48, but I want 53. So there's a remainder. 53 minus 48 is 5. Okay. Okay, divide 8 again. 8 times 1 is 8, but lebih already. So I can take 8 times 0 lah. So 8 times 0 is 0, but I want 6. So the remainder will be 6 minus 0, which is 6. And the answer you have to baca dari bawah ke atas. So the answer is 6, 5 base 8. Right? Okay, now we already know all this is 6, 5 base 8. So now we just have to check which one is true. So 6, 5 base 8 is bigger than 107 base 8. Confirm wrong. Confirm wrong. Okay. Even though I don't know what is 107, I don't know this one in base 10 is how much. But you know it confirm is bigger than 651, right? Yeah, out of these two, the 107 must be bigger one, because this one is 107, this is 65, right? So confirm wrong. What about this? 65 base 8 is bigger than 75 base 8. Confirm wrong lah. How can 65 bigger than 75? Right? Oh, by the way, this is not 75. You cannot read this as 75, because it's not in base 10. Okay, you have to read it like 75 macam tu. Okay, next one. 65 base 8 is bigger than 66 base 8. This is not true. Yeah, because 66 base 8 is bigger. Okay, not the other way. So I think the answer is D. Okay, let's check. 65 base 8 is bigger than 53 base 8. Yeah, it's correct. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, you don't need to know the exact value in base 10, right? You just have to look at the value. You already can see which one bigger already. 65 base 8 confirm is bigger than 53. Okay, that's why, because this start with 6, didn't start with 5. So of course this one, the 65 base 8 bigger, right? So the answer is D. Okay, let's continue. Number 7 says what? Encik Shami owns an apartment in Ladang Tanjung. Okay, apartment. Kuala Terengganu. Okay, he receives a tax bill from the state authority, which is the Land and Mine Office, at the beginning of each year. What type of tax is imposed on the ownership of this strata apartment? So, cukai tanah lah. Land mah. Pejabat tanah mah. So this one confirm is the cukai tanah. And in English we call it quit rent. Cukai tanah, right? So let's go to A, B, C, D. A, they say cukai petak. B, they say cukai pintu. C, cukai jalan. D, cukai jualan perkhidmatan. Okay, confirm not raw tax lah. And confirm not sales and service tax. Property assessment tax. No. Okay, no. Property assessment tax is the cukai yang apa? The authority is the district council, okay, the majlis daerah, for cukai pintu, not the pejabat tanah. Pejabat tanah automatic is cukai tanah. Okay, so the answer is A. Okay, but let me tell you why they never write quit rent here. Why they write parcel tax? Okay, parcel tax is same with quit rent. Okay, parcel tax is same with quit rent. It's just that parcel tax is for apartment and condominium. Okay, so dia sebenarnya sama. Cukai petak dengan cukai tanah benda yang sama. Cuma cukai petak, kita guna cukai petak bila dia apartment and apartment. Bila dia apartment. Okay, so parcel tax and quit rent is the same. It's just that we use parcel tax when it's a apartment. Alright, and they got mentioned about apartment here. So that is why the answer is A. Okay, okay, that's all. Okay, this one is the same thing, so skip lah. Okay, the next question is number 8. Okay, let's read the question. Cik Zuraida owns a private car with engine capacity 1830cc in Sandakan. The base rate for the first 1800cc is 224. This is the base rate. And the progressive rate is 25 cents per cc. Calculate the road tax payable by her. Okay, a lot of students confuse road tax and motor insurance. Okay, if you struggle with that, make sure you remember now. Motor insurance, the calculation is different one. Motor insurance is chapter 3. That one have to use the what comprehensive policy, third party policy, pihak ketiga. You have to tengok motor tarif. That one lain. Itu lain. This one is not motor insurance. This is road tax. For road tax, cara dia senang saja. Dia bukan macam motor insurance, kena hafal banyak benda. Ini senang saja. Road tax is very easy one. Cukai jalan is very easy. Okay. For the tax chapter, the only thing yang you kena be careful is the income tax saja. Okay, the income tax saja banyak yang banyak benda kena hafal. The other tax is very easy one. So road tax is one of it lah. Okay, how to find the road tax payable? First, they already say base rate for the first 1,800 cc is 24 RM. So confirm the RM 24 have to pay, but I still have to pass with the progressive rate, right? Because this 224 is only for first 1,800 cc. The car now is 1830 cc, so I have to take 1830 minus with 1,800, and then after I minus, I have to times with 25 cents because the progressive rate is 25 cents per cc. Okay, so times with 25 cents. It means for every cc exceeding 1,800, you have to pay 25 cents. That's what it means. Okay, okay, make sure you press this first. Okay, this one minus this one is 30. 30 times 0.25. Press calculator. 7.5 plus 224. Okay, my calculator give me 231.5. Okay, so ada jawapan lah. The answer is C. Okay, so yeah, sudah siap. Okay, number 9. Encik Amir bought a bungalow house worth 450,000. Okay, so this is the bungalow house. Okay, he wants to buy fire insurance. Okay, I already know which chapter is the fire insurance. And for fire insurance, I will tell you the notes first. So first thing, let's forget about the question. Let's talk about fire insurance. Everything you need to know about fire insurance. First thing is you need to know the paling penting punya formula is how to find amount of required insurance. Okay, so for amount of required, the formula is you have to take the insurable value. Okay, insurable value times with the co-insurance percentage. Okay, co-insurance percentage. So when you are doing fire insurance, you always start with this formula. You always use this formula first, right? And after you use this formula, you will get your amount of required. Okay, jumlah yang harus dibeli. After you get that, now you check whether it's case 1, case 2, or case 3. Okay, case 1 is when your insured value, okay, when your insured value is equals to the required. It means the required value, you buy exactly at the required value. Okay, you insured exactly same with the required value. So if it's case 1, then the formula for compensation will be the loss minus deductible. Okay, minus deductible, right? So that is case 1. Let's talk about case 2. Case 2 is when your insured value, it means the purchased, yang you purchase is less than the required. It means jumlah yang awak beli tu kurang daripada jumlah yang harus dibeli. It means you buy less than the required. So if you buy less then your compensation will be kurang already. So the formula will be you take the purchased, you divide with required. Okay, purchase divide with required. Ataupun you boleh cakap insured lah, insured value divide with required times with loss and then minus deductible. Okay, let me make space. So times with loss minus with deductible. Okay, so this is the formula if it's case 2, right? Okay, next, last one, let's talk about case 3. Okay, let's talk about case 3. Okay, case 3 is when you suffer total loss. Okay, suffer total loss, right? So if you suffer total loss, then we don't care whether you buy less than the required or buy exactly at the required. We don't care already. If it's total loss, then the compensation will just be the amount purchased. Yeah, the purchased minus deductible, right? This one is kalau total loss. Total loss means like kerugian menyeluruh, right? It means like the whole house burned down. That's what it means, right? So if you know all this, then baru you boleh buat soalan ni, right? So you need to know this one. And by the way, this is only for fire insurance. Because in this chapter, insurance chapter, dia ada apa? Fire insurance, medical insurance, what? Life insurance, right? Motor insurance, and all the different insurance, their calculation method all different one. Semua insurance cara kira tak sama. This is only for fire insurance. Okay. That's why a lot of students struggle with this chapter because it's like one chapter, but inside this chapter, there's like got three different chapters inside one chapter. Yeah. And all the other insurance cara kira dia tak sama. Okay, but this one is how you calculate fire insurance. So now let's read the question again. So Encik Amir bought a bungalow house worth this one. So this one confirm is the insurable value. Alright. And then he wants to buy fire insurance from Syarikat Takaful apa ethnic. The insurable value is 350,000. Oh, so sorry. So this is not the insurable value. Sorry, silap. The insurable value is 350,000. Okay, allocating 80% co-insurance. So you can see they give you the insurable and give you the percentage. So later you can find the amount of required lah. Okay. Okay, but let's see what is this first. Deductible of 2000. Okay, this 2000 is the deductible. But we don't look at this first. Okay. This one when we calculate compensation baru kita tengok the deductible, right? The first formula is we always find the required first. Okay, lepas tu dia kata Encik Amir house suffered total loss. Okay, confirm case 3. Confirm case 3. Total loss, you see the keyword already. And then they say calculate the maximum compensation payment that Encik Amir will receive if he buys insurance on the amount that should be purchased. So he purchased exactly at the required value. That's what it means, right? He buys insurance on the amount that should be purchased. Should be purchased. Should. Should means harus. Harus means like required lah. The required value. So for case 3, you have to take to find compensation is purchase minus deductible, right? But you have to calculate the amount of required insurance first. Because if you don't calculate this, then you don't know what is your purchase value. Because they already said he purchased at the he buys insurance on the amount of insurance that should be purchased. It means the purchase value is same with the required value. Okay, that is why you have to start with this formula. So now I will muscle formula. Insurable value, which is 350k, times with co-insurance 80%, right? So if you tekan this, you will get the amount of required insurance. 350,000 times 80 divided 100. So my calculator give me 280,000 and tell me what is this? This is the jumlah yang harus dibeli ataupun the amount of required, right? And what happens here? So he buys the insurance on the amount that should be purchased. It means this is the required value, and he also purchased this value, 280,000. Okay, but I told you already, this is total loss. For total loss punya case, we don't care whether he buy less than required or buy equals required. The formula is purchase minus deductible. So the purchase value will be 280,000. Okay, because he purchased he buys the insurance on the amount of required. So it means like he buy exactly the required lah, and then minus with deductible, which is 2,000, right? And when you minus this, you will get the answer for the compensation. But is that what they want to find? Calculate maximum compensation. So yeah lah, that's what they're asking. So you just tekan this one minus this one, then you get the answer already, right? So let me press calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 278,000. 278,000. So ada jawapan ke? Ada. So the answer is A. Right? So boleh faham ini cara dia. Right? So this one you kalau nak pandai buat fire insurance, you have to memorize all this. Right? Kalau you tak ingat ni memang tak boleh buat dalam exam. Right? So this is my notes for you. Make sure you know everything here. Okay? Ini semua penting for fire insurance. Okay? Okay, sudah siap. Okay, number 10. Which of the following points satisfy the inequality y bigger 1 over 3x plus 4? Satisfy in bahasa Melayu is memuaskan. Okay, this one they write memenuhi lah. But it's the same lah, memenuhi ataupun memuaskan. So, what is the meaning of satisfy? It means they're asking you which of these points is within the shaded region. Okay, because this is an inequality. Inequality means there is a shaded region, right? It means this one, if you convert to line, it will be y equals 1 over 3x plus 4. And if you draw the line, okay, maybe it look like this. And then the bigger means you have to, the shaded region is atas garisan. And they're asking you which of these points is satisfy, means which of these point is inside the shaded region. Okay, dia tanya yang mana point ni dalam kawasan berlorek, right? But how you want to know which point kawasan berlorek? Okay, of course you can draw it in the graph paper also. Okay, like just draw it in the graph paper and then plot the points and check after you draw the line, everything, and then check whether the point is inside the shaded region. But takkan lah you nak buat guna graph paper, right? So there is actually a better method. So ada cara yang lebih baik sebenarnya. So cara dia macam ni, you buat satu table, and then you divide this table into left side and right side, right? So on the left side, it says y. On the right side, it says 1 over 3x plus 4. So what you can do is just sub inside and check whether your left-hand side is bigger than right-hand side. If your left-hand side comes out is bigger than right-hand side, then we say it's satisfied. Then we can say that, okay, this point is dalam kawasan lorek. This point is inside the shade region. Okay, but it has to be left side bigger lah because they put bigger, right? Okay, let's try. Y is 4. And then the right side is 1 over 3 x plus 4. And for the x, you sub 4, right? So you will end up with 4 here. And then 1 over 3 times 4 plus 4, you can use calculator. Okay, my calculator change to decimal lah, because we want to compare who's bigger. So 5.333. So just 5.33. So can you tell me, does this satisfy this inequality? The answer is no. Okay, why? Because when you sub inside, your left hand side is smaller. Because the left hand side is 4. This one is 5 point something. So your left hand side ends up smaller than the right side. But this one, the left side, they write bigger here. So that's why this point will not be inside the shaded region. Okay, because this point is below, dia duduk bawah garisan. But the shaded region now is atas because it's bigger. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, now let's try with the second point, 0, 4. So I will erase. Okay, I will erase this. And of course, this one also erase, this one also erase. And now I will sub with 0, 4. So y is 4 this time. And then 1 over 3 x. X is 0. And then plus 4. Okay, the 4, nothing to do here. 0 times 1 over 3 is 0. 0 plus 4, 4. So as you can see, 4 and 4, they are the same number, right? They're the same number. So can you tell me, when you left hand side and right hand side, you get the same value, it means that this point 0, 4, dia duduk dekat mana? Dia duduk dekat atas garisan or bawah garisan? Okay, just now for the A one is duduk bawah lah. The 4, 4. That's why A is wrong. Because the shaded region is atas garisan. What about B? What about B? This 0, 4, where do you think is the garisan? Just now you already try sub inside already. You end up getting left hand side and right hand side the same value. Okay, if you get left hand side, right hand side same value, it means dia tak ada bigger, dia tak ada smaller, right? It means the 0, 4 is exactly on the line. It's exactly on the line, right? But the shaded region is atas garisan, right? So tell me, does this satisfy or not satisfy if it's on the line? It's not in the shaded region, but if it's on the line. So can you tell me if it's on the line, satisfy or not satisfy? Okay, kalau dia dash line, garisan putus-putus, then tak satisfy. Tapi kalau dia solid line, satisfy. So can you tell me, is this a solid line or dash line? Actually, it should be a dash line. It should be a dash line. Okay, it should be a dash line. Alright, it should be a dash line. Why? Because if you look at the inequality, dia tak ada letak line dekat bawah sini. Okay, dia tak ada garis bawah. Kalau dia tak ada line bawah means this is a dash line. It's a garisan putus-putus. So kalau garisan putus-putus, the point we don't count it if it's on the line. Right? We don't say it means we consider dia tak satisfy. Sebab kalau dia macam ni means dia kena bigger. Dia tak boleh sama dengan, right? So yeah, so that's why B is like wrong also lah. B does not satisfy. Okay, but if it's solid line, if it's like this, if I let's say I tambah the line like this, then this one satisfy already. Because 4 is bigger or equals 4, right? It means dia boleh equal 4 juga. Okay. Okay, but since this one is dash line, that's why B is wrong. So A is also wrong, B is also wrong. Let's try with C now. So C, they says ganti Y is 4. Okay, so 4, but this time the X is negative 4. So I have to change this. So it becomes 1 over 3 X plus 4, right? Okay, this time the X, you negative 4. You sub. Okay, now you can use your calculator. Just press all this. Okay. Okay, negative 4 divided 3 plus 4. Okay, I got 2.67. Okay, 2.6666, so 2.67. Okay, now you tell me, C, what is the case? So this is the dash line. Where do you think is this point? Is it atas garisan or bawah garisan? Okay, I'll tell you it's okay, when you sub inside, your left hand side is bigger than the right side, right? Because 4 is bigger than 2.67. That means dia akan duduk atas garisan and it's within the shaded region. Yeah, dia dalam kawasan lorek. Okay, so that means C is the answer lah. Boleh faham kan? Because when you sub inside, you end up getting the left side bigger than the right side, which is what they write here. Which is what you want. You want the left side to be bigger than the right side. So that's why C is the answer. C satisfies. Okay. Okay. So if you know C is the answer, then D no need to try already lah. Okay. Yeah, D confirm wrong already. Okay. But if you want to try, can also. This one put negative 4, and you realize the left side is smaller than the right side. If you sub D answer inside, the left side is smaller. So wrong lah. Because they said here they want the left side to be bigger, right? So very obvious the answer is C. Okay, hope you understand. Okay, let's move on. Number 11. Given 3PQ over square root R equals S, express R in terms of PQS. Okay, if they want to express R means they want you to make R single. You kena jadikan R single. So how do we make R single? Okay, first thing first, let's try to get rid of the fraction. Because if there is fraction, it's very hard to pindah. Okay, bila you punya soalan ada pecahan, susah nak pindah tau. So kalau boleh kita get rid of fraction, and how we do that, just move up like this. So it becomes 3PQ, ini pindah jadi darab. So it becomes S times square root R. Okay, now we can focus on making the R single. So how to make the R single? You have to pindah S first. So it becomes 3PQ over S, right? And this is square root R. Okay, now the last thing to do is to pindah the square. So now R becomes what? 3PQ over S. But I don't want you to write square like this. If you write like this, wrong. Okay, if you write like this, wrong. Because if you write like this, it means Q sahaja yang square. But actually, it's not just Q sahaja square, it's the whole thing. So you have to put bracket square like this, right? Okay, let's look at A, B, C, D and see ada jawapan yang macam ni tak. So A wrong because tak ada square. B also wrong. So it's either C or D, right? So I think the answer is D. Okay, let me tell you why. Okay, if you look at A, B, C, D, tak ada jawapan means it means they want you to square lah, right? They want you to square. But I already tell you, everything inside the bracket have to square. Everything, everything. Okay, so 3 have to square, so 3 square becomes 9. Q also have to square. Q also have to square. S also have to square. That is why the answer is D. Okay, that is why the answer is D. Okay, okay, that's all. Okay, let's do number 12. This one is from 4 chapter 7. It's called graph of motion. Dalam bahasa Melayu, graph gerakan. Okay, in this chapter we learn about the DTG, STG, distance time graph, speed time graph yang tu lah. Okay, let's read the question first. Diagram 1 shows the distance time graph, so it's the DTG. For the motion of a lorry for a period of 120 minutes. Let's check 120 minutes. Okay, correct. Okay, I always tell my student, whenever we do this chapter punya soalan, always look at the y-axis and the x-axis and look at the unit kalau boleh. So if you look at the jarak distance is in kilometers, right? But this one is time, but it's in minutes, right? So, and then the garisan is like this, right? And then bawah here says what? Calculate average speed in kilometer per hour for the whole journey. Okay, but they want in kilometer per hour, right? So if you look at this is kilometer, but this one is in minutes, right? So when you find speed, okay, let's talk about average speed formula. How to find average speed, the formula. You don't tell me use gradient, no, 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 no. The gradient is when you find speed. When you find speed, then you use gradient. For example, I want you to find the speed in first 40 minutes. Then you take this line, you find two coordinates, and then you find gradient, right? But for average speed, no. Average speed, the formula is total distance over total time. This is the formula. But if you want it to be in kilometer per hour, then your total distance should be in kilometer, your total time should be in hour. Then only your answer will come out in kilometer per hour later, right? Okay, what is the total distance in kilometer? You see, a lot of students, they will, okay, I know mostly there is some students that do like that one. They will just put 150 like that because they say, oh, sir, total distance 150 lah. They just tengok atas macam tu, and then the total time, they will just take 120, okay, like this. Okay, or maybe divide 60, right? Because I have to convert to hours. Okay, wrong, wrong. Yeah, this is wrong. What's wrong about this? The distance. The distance, total distance is not 150, right? So a lot of students, they bought salah in this chapter is because they never truly understand what the story behind the line. Dia tak faham garisan tu. Okay, so now I will explain to you. In this chapter, you kena hafal formula, tapi hafal formula tak cukup tau. You kena juga pandai faham garisan. You kena faham juga garisan. So every garisan have a different story. So you need to faham what happens when the garisan looks like this. If it look like this, if it look like this, right? So let's discuss what happens here. What happens here is in under 40 minutes, the distance traveled by the lorry is here to here, which is not 150. The distance is only here. So it would be 150 minus 30, which is 120 kilometers. So that means in 40 minutes, first 40 minutes, dia travel 120 kilometer. Itu maksud dia, right? And then what about this line here, right here? This line right here is from 40 minutes to 120 minutes, the distance travel is 150 kilometers. But this one is moving in the opposite direction. So this one is move forward, this one is move backwards, right? That's why the line is going down like this. Understand? So I repeat one more time, from here to here, the line is going up like that. So your time is increasing, your distance is also changing, right? So he traveled 120, but then after he reached here, he moved backwards, right? He U-turn lah, U-turn. So he moved in the opposite direction, and he moved for another 150 kilometers. So that's why the total distance is 120 plus 150 like this. This is the correct method. Okay. Okay, and then you have to divide with total time. So the total time is what? 120 have to divide 60, right? And you all know why, right? Because you want it to be in kilometer per hour. So you want to convert this. So 120 divide 60, you will get 2 hours, right? So let's straight away write 2 here lah. Okay, now we can press calculator. 120 plus 150 is 270, divide to 135. So the last final answer is 135 kilometer per hour. So A B C D C lah, right? So that's all. Okay, continue. Number 13. Table 1 shows values of variable x and y of this function. They give you a table. Okay, find the value of m and n. So how to find m and n? So this is m, this is n, right? So I think it's quite easy. You just sub inside the equation, then you get it already. So y equals to negative x power 3 plus 10x plus 4, right? So the x, if you want to find m, means you have to sub x negative 2 inside here, like this, right? And when you sub like that, the y, you sub with m lah, like this. So this is how you find m. So just press all this in your calculator, and then you will get the answer, right? But make sure you press all the bracket exactly like this lah, right? Okay, let me press down. Negative bracket, negative 2, tutup bracket, power 3 plus 10, bracket negative 2, close bracket plus 4. Okay, my calculator give me negative 8. Okay, negative 8. So let's look at A, B, C, D. What is the m negative 8? So A is the answer. This one wrong, wrong, wrong. So yeah, A is the answer. Okay. Okay, let's check what is the n. So n is when you sub x is 0. So yeah lah, if you sub 0, this becomes 0, this becomes 0. So the answer is 4. So yeah, correct lah. N is 4. Okay, so 13 is quite easy. So that's the answer. Okay, number 14. This one is linear inequalities. Just by looking at the diagram, I know already. Confirm is the linear inequalities. Diagram 2 shows the region representing a system of linear inequalities. Okay. Determine the region that satisfy a system of inequality x over 4 plus y over 4 smaller than 1, x smaller or equals y, x bigger or equals 0. Okay, first step is to make sure we have all these 3 lines first. Okay, make sure you ada 3 garisan ni dulu. So the first line, ada tak dia sudah lukis x over 4 plus y over 4 equals 1. So adalah this dotted line. Next line, x smaller equals y. Ada tak garisan ni x equals y? Ada, this one, right? Okay, but this one they write y equals x, right? Okay, same thing lah. Y equals x, x equals y is the same. Okay, next one, x bigger than 0. This line actually they never draw it for me, but you should know that the x equals 0 line is actually the y-axis. Okay. If the equation of the line is like this, x equals 0, x equals number or y equals number, you need to know that this type of lines, they don't have any gradient. Okay, dia bukan line yang sengit. Okay, for line yang dia x equals number, y equals number, dia line yang tak ada sengit. Okay, tak ada sengit. So kalau tak ada sengit macam mana? Okay, kalau dia x equals, then dia mesti straight macam tu, vertical. Okay, but if it's like y equals number, then it's like horizontal lah, right? Okay, but this one is x equals 0. That is why I say it's the y-axis is vertical, right? And why is it at here is because it's equals 0. So dia potong x-axis dekat 0. So this is the line. Okay, now we already check. We already make sure we have these 3 lines. Now it's time to shade the region. Okay, when we shade the region, we have to look at the inequality sign, right? We have to look at the bigger or smaller lah. Okay, if the line is straight like this, then the right side is the bigger, left side is smaller. But what if the line is like this? Then atas bigger, bawah smaller lah. But what if the line is sengit? Okay, if sengit like this, you tengok atas bawah. So atas bigger, bawah smaller. If sengit like this, also tengok atas bawah, atas bigger, bawah smaller. Alright? But there's a few things you have to remember. You have to make sure your y has to be positive. You have to make sure your y is positive, then baru you boleh terus tengok. So tell me now, is y positive now? Yes. So boleh terus tengok. So this symbol is smaller, right? It means later we have to take bawah garisan ni, right? But this line belongs to which line? This one, right? This is the line, x over 4, y over 1. But since they write smaller, so I have to take bawah garisan. So bawah garisan means the answer is B or D. So the shaded region for this is B and D. Okay, but don't shade now first. because you haven't checked the other two inequality. So I already finished the first one. Now let's do the second one. The second one is x smaller or equals y, right? So can you tell me this one is bigger or smaller? Okay, it's smaller. But when we shade, we have to shade bigger. It's smaller, but we have to shade bigger. Why? Kenapa? Because your y now is positive, but it's on the right side. That means you have to you can rewrite this. Okay, you can rewrite this like this, terbalikkan. But when you terbalik, make sure the symbol, the sign also terbalik. Okay, but how to terbalik? Okay, look at the arrow is pointing to x. So when you terbalik, also you have to point to x. So that is why it's bigger. So now you understand, right? Why I say bigger. Okay, so remember, always look at the y positive. Okay, make sure y positive on this side baru boleh tengok. That is why you for this one, even though it's smaller, but I have to shade bigger. So it means I have to do, lorek atas garisan lah. Where is this garisan? This one. So atas garisan mana? I think it's A and B lah. The possible answer is A and B. A and B, right? Okay, but it's not over yet. I still have to do one more inequality. X bigger or equals 0. Okay, x equals 0 is this line. So if the line is vertical, where is the bigger punya region? It will be on the sebelah kanan, right? It means all A, B, C, D is possible lah. So for this inequality, the shaded region is A, B, C, D, right? So now tell me which one is the answer. The one that's overlap lah. Because they ask you determine the region that satisfy all three inequality. So the region that satisfy all three is the region that overlaps lah. Yang tiga-tiga ada. So yang jawapan yang tiga-tiga ada apa? B, right? B is the overlap region between all these three, right? So B is the answer. D cannot because D tak ada dalam sini, right? You have to choose the one yang apa? Tiga-tiga region pun ada, right? Ataupun you boleh cakap yang overlap lah. Kawasan yang tiga-tiga ni overlap. Okay, so yang tiga-tiga overlap is kawasan B lah. Sebab tiga-tiga ni they all have B. Okay, so B is the only region that satisfy all three at the same time. Okay, okay, sudah siap. Number 15. Diagram 3 shows a region that's this set a lot of linear inequality, yeah. It's like the third question already. Okay, the third question they ask inequality already. Okay, tak apa, let's do it. Diagram 3 shows a region that satisfies system of linear inequality. Okay, this question they never ask us to lorek. Dia tak suruh kita shade. Dia terus kita dia dah shade untuk kita dah. They already shade for me. So I'm sure confirm they will ask me to find the inequality. So let's read. The system of linear inequality represented by shaded region is this one or this one, this one. Okay, so betul lah. So if they give you the shaded region, it means confirm they will ask you to cari balik the inequality one. Okay, let's talk about inequality. So can you tell me this line, later you have to write this line, you have to write smaller or bigger? Smaller, right? Because your shaded region is bawah garisan ni. So later have to write smaller for this line. What about this line? This line write smaller or bigger? Smaller. Why? Because you are looking at the shaded region. If the shaded region bawah garisan, then smaller. Okay, the final line is this line. Okay, this line have to write bigger or smaller? Bigger. Because this line horizontal and the shaded region duduk atas garisan, so bigger, right? And also, when you want to write the inequality, you should look at the shaded region. If the shaded region is a triangle, then there will be three inequality right? Because there's three lines surrounding the shaded region, right? So we need to get this equation of these three lines, right? Okay, but let's look at the answer here because I already know this line have to write smaller, right? And we already have the equation. So later it will be y smaller 4x. But since this is a solid line, you have to put the garisan bawah macam ni. So let's go to A, B, C, D. The one yang tak ada macam ni confirm cancel wrong already lah. So y smaller or equals 4x. So this is wrong. Okay, this is correct. This is wrong. Okay, this is correct. So it's either B or D. Okay, let's try with this line. Right, this line. So this line is a dotted line ataupun dash line. Garisan yang putus-putus. But this one, later have to write smaller, right? So you already have the equation x plus y equals 8. And the y is already positive. So I have to write smaller here, smaller. But this time, this is a dash line. So you don't have to put the garisan bawah macam ni. So this is the answer. So let's look at B or D. X plus y smaller 8. So this is correct. Ini betul. Ini pun betul, right? So I think the only way is to find The only way to know the answer is to find the last line lah. Okay, so the last line I need to find is this line. Okay, can you tell me the equation of this line? Okay, the equation of this line, dia takkan jadi y equal mx plus c. It will not be y equal mx plus c. Why? Because this line tak ada sengit. Dia tak ada gradient. Dia tak ada gradient. Gradient dia kosong, this line. Alright. So dia takkan ada y equal mx plus c because dia bukan line yang sengit. So this line, I will tell you now, the equation is y equals 0. Okay. Because the line is horizontal. When the line is horizontal, dia mesti y equals. Remember that. Okay. If it's completely vertical, then it's x equals number. Okay. Okay, but why I write y equals 0? Why is it 0? Because dia potong y axis dekat kosong. That is why. Okay. That's why it's y equals 0. Okay, now tell me, I have to change the equal to what? Bigger or smaller? Bigger lah, of course, right? But I have to put the line or not? Yes, I have to put, because this is a solid line. So this is the answer. So now I think I can go to bulat my answer already. So answer is B. D cannot because they put smaller. How this one has to be right bigger. So yeah. So D salah. B boy is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, 16. In diagram 4, MN is a straight line. So I think this is from 3 chapter. From 3, there is a chapter called straight line. And yeah, from 3, tingkatan 3, the last chapter lah. Okay, apa dia kata sini? The gradient of MN is negative 1 over 2. Okay, so gradient M negative 1 over 2. And I noticed that they got give me information here. Did you see it? They write 4 here, right? And can you tell me what do we call this point? This point, we call it the y-intercept. Pintasan y, right? What is pintasan y? Y-intercept, what is y-intercept? Y-intercept means the point where the line touches the y-axis, which is this point lah, right? So the y-intercept is 4, okay? And the y-intercept we use C to we use C to call the y-intercept, right? Hey, if you have the gradient and y-intercept, you can already get the equation already. So what's the equation of the line? Y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 4, right? Yeah, because the equation of straight line will always be y equals mx plus c. And kebetulan your m and c is given to you for free already. So you just put it in, right? But I still don't know what the question wants yet. I still haven't finished reading. Let's see what they want. Find the coordinate of n. Okay, tell me, what do we call this point n? There is a name for this point. What do we call it? Just now, point m, I said it's the y-intercept, right? So what is point n? This is the x-intercept. Pintasan x. Okay, pintasan x. And dia memang suka tanya x-intercept in exam 1. So how to do x-intercept? Very easy, just ganti y equals 0. Right? Just ganti y equals 0. Just letak y tukar jadi kosong and then cari x and then dapatlah jawapan. Okay, let me explain why you ganti y equals 0. Kenapa you ganti y 0? Because when you finding x-intercept, when you're finding point n, which is the x-intercept, the y coordinate will be 0. Okay? Because when memang macam tu kan, every point on x-axis dia punya y coordinate mesti kosong, right? So let's say this one is 1 0 2 0 3 0 4 0. Yeah, you get the idea, right? That is why that's why you can ganti y equals 0 inside. And now you just have to find x. Okay, try to make it positive. So 1 over 2x becomes 4, and then x equals to divide 2, move there, become times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. That means this is 8 0. Okay, the x-intercept is 8, so the answer is D donkey. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let me explain another method. There's another method to do this question. If you don't want to do like that, you can also do it differently, which is by using the gradient formula. So gradient is negative 1 over 2, right? So what's the formula for gradient? Y minus y over x minus x. But since you don't know the x coordinate here, you just call it x. But you know the coordinate here, which is 0, 4. Okay? Why the x coordinate is 0? Because this is y-intercept. So y-intercept, the x coordinate would be 0. Okay, and then you use the gradient formula y minus y over x minus x. So it becomes 0 minus 8. 0 minus 4. Sorry. Y minus y 0 minus 4 over x minus 0. Right? And trust me, if you do like that also, you will get 8 later. Okay? Okay lah, I'll just show you quickly lah. 0 minus 4 is negative 4 over x equals negative 1 over 2. And then you darab silang. Cross multiply. 2 times negative 4, negative 8. X times negative 1, negative x. So x is 8. So as you can see, the answer is same. Right? So yeah, if you want to do it like that, can also. Or maybe some smart students, they will say like, hey sir, what if I use the gradient second formula, negative y-intercept over x-intercept? Can also. Because this question, kebetulan, uh they give you the y-intercept and you are finding the x-intercept. So yeah, can lah. But this formula only in very specific case can you can only in case where I mean only when the question give you the y intercept x intercept, then only you can use this formula. So this formula is like only in a very specific, very rare case you can use this formula, right? In very specific question you can use this, right? Okay, but for this question boleh lah, memang boleh, right? Okay, so these are all the methods you can do to get the answer. Okay, okay, dah siap. Okay, let's do number 17. Okay. Okay, number 17, what it says here. Diagram 5 shows the distance time graph. So this is a graph of motion chapter lah for chapter 7. So distance time graph is DTG of the motion of car and a bus. Okay, that's why I got two lines. Okay, let's read carefully what's next. The OA graph represents motion of car from town Ajil to down Jerte. I think I have to label. Kalau tak nanti saya lupa. So OA is the motion of car. So this one I put arrow, I write car. And KICAR. And they says here from town Ajil to Jerte. So I think when the time is 0, this is Arte lah. Sorry, Ajil. And then he just move 120 minutes. Dia punya distance the 150. So I think this is when he reached the Jerte. Okay. It means that I can use my highlight. I can highlight this. And this is Jerte. And then I can highlight this. This is Ajil. Okay. Okay, so now let's read what's next. The graph of PQ is the movement of bus from town Jerte to Ajil. So the opposite direction. Okay, and this one is PQ. Graph PQ is bus. So PQ is this one. This one I put arrow bus. Right. Okay, you can see that the bus punya movement is from town Jerte to Ajil. So it's the other way. Alright, the car is Ajil to Jerte, right? But for the bus, it's like Jerte to Adil, Ajil. And this is the how the graph looks like. And then it says what? Determine the speed difference in kilometer per hour of the two vehicle. So they want you to find speed difference. Okay, difference means you kena ambil besar tolak kecil. So I think what I need to do now, find the speed of car, lepas tu find speed of bus, and then ambil besar tolak kecil lah. But the question is how to find the speed of car. How to find the speed? Okay, the formula for speed is distance over time, right? And look at your y-axis and your x-axis. This is distance time, right? Okay, but there is a problem here. They want to find speed difference in kilometer per hour. If you look at your axis, this is in kilometer, but this is in minute. So you should change to hours. And I will just change everything to hours. How to change? Divide 60, divide 60, divide 60. So you get 1, divide 60, you get 2, so you get 3. Okay? So remember, when you do this question in exam, always look at the unit. Because they will always try to make it difficult by, how to say, by changing the unit. Okay? So, dia selalu main dengan unit. So, bila you buat dekat exam tu, you kena pandai tengok unit. Especially for this chapter. Sebab this chapter, you always look at the unit. Always take note lah. Okay, now we can find the speed of car. So the speed of car will be what? Distance over time, right? So the car, what's the distance traveled by the car? You can see it's 150. Or some students say use gradient. Can also. Use gradient. Because when you find gradient, you will take the y minus y over x minus x, which means you are taking like the distance divide time lah. Because when you take y minus y, you are finding distance. Okay, so let's use gradient to do. So the car, what's the coordinate here? 2, 150. Okay, and then this one is 0, 0. So the gradient will be y minus y, 150 minus 0 over 2 minus 0. So you'll get 75. Okay, that means the car punya speed is 75 kilometer per hour. Okay, gradient represents speed. Gradient means speed. Okay, in DTG lah. Okay, but if it's STG, then it's different. If it's speed time graph, it's different. But in DTG, distance time graph, then the gradient is speed. Okay, now for bus punya speed, same thing. I'll use gradient to do it also. Right? So you understand, right? Why use gradient? Because you are finding speed, and speed formula is distance over time. Right? So you just find gradient lah. Because gradient, when you find gradient, you always find the y-axis and divide with the x-axis, right? Okay, so what's the gradient of bus? This line, let's write the coordinate first. This one is 0, 150, and then the other one is 3, 0. Okay. Okay, the formula will be y minus y, 150 minus 0, divide 0 minus 3. Okay, you end up with negative 50. Okay, negative 50. But let me ask you one thing, one thing. Speed ada negative ke? Speed boleh negative ah? Tak boleh negative. Okay, speed cannot have negative one. Speed cannot have negative. Time cannot have negative. Distance also cannot have negative. Okay, but acceleration boleh negative. Acceleration is percotan. Okay, so when acceleration is negative, it means deceleration lah. Kalau percotan you dapat negative means dia nyah percotan. Okay, but this one speed tak ada negative. So gradient you get negative 50, but the speed is only 50, right? So the negative don't include in your speed answer. Okay. So I repeat one more time. Gradient boleh negative, tapi speed tak boleh negative. So remember that. Okay, now we can find the speed difference. Ambil besar tolak kecil. 75 minus 50. So the answer is B, boy. Right? Okay, sudah siap. Number 18. Given M varies inversely with the square of N. So I think this is a variation question. Dia dah cakap varies inversely. Means secara songsang. So kalau songsang means you have to draw a line. And whatever they write here, you have to tulis bawah. Square of N means N kuasa 2. Okay. Okay, nothing atas means letak 1 lah. Okay, now it says what? If M equals 5, N equals 3, calculate the value of M when N equals 1.5. Okay, why do you think they give me this M5 and 3? You rasa untuk cari apa? Kenapa dia bagi M5 and 3? Untuk awak cari K lah. Untuk you cari K. Because when you're doing variation question, you will always change this symbol to equals and then you tambah letak K, right? Okay, the K I will straight away letak atas. Why I letak atas is because when you change this to equals K, the K have to times with the 1 over N square. And you straight away times atas saja. So that's why it becomes like this. And now you have to find K, right? And the way to do it is you need to have M and N. Dua-dua kena ada. Dia tak boleh ada satu saja. Dia kena dua-dua ada. So can you tell me which one I have to letak apa MN? Ada tak dia bagi dua-dua? Ada mah M5 and 3 lah. So just letak 5, 3. Don't go and letak 1.5 ah. If you letak 1.5 tak boleh man. Because this information is not complete. This information dia bagi N saja, dia tak bagi M. Okay, so you need to make sure you have dua-dua. Okay. This N 1.5 you cannot ganti first. You have to do it last kali. After you find your K, you rewrite the whole thing, then only you sub this. So let's find K first. So K equals to 5 times 9 is 45. And then you rewrite the whole formula. M equals K over N square means 45 over N square. Okay, now you already find your K. Sekarang baru you buat apa yang soalan suruh cari. Now only you find this. So they want to calculate M when N is 1.5. So very easy. Just sub 45 over N square. This one just put 1.5. And if you press this, I believe you get the answer already. So just press. Okay, my calculator give me 20. So ada jawapan lah. A is the answer. Okay. So remember, for variation question, always find K first. If you don't find K, you cannot do this. You cannot find the value of M, right? Because imagine without K, how you supposed to, then you don't know it's for the 45 already. So like how you supposed to find this, right? So the step for variation is always find K first, and then rewrite, and then baru cari apa yang soalan nak cari lah. Okay, sudah siap. Number 19, table 2 shows some values of variable x and y. Okay, I can see it. Given x varies, okay, another variation question. So same step like just now lah. Write the variation and then tukar jadi equal k and then cari k and then rewrite and then see what the question wants. So do the same exact step. So x varies directly to the power of 3y and inversely to the square root of z. So this time it's x varies directly means tulis atas, tapi dia ada inversely nanti. So it means later yang directly kena tulis atas, yang inversely kena tulis bawah. So directly to the power of 3y, it means y kuasa 3, y power 3. Inversely means tulis bawah, so square root of z. So square root of z, right? Right? Okay, sudah siap saya punya variation. Now they says calculate value of t. Okay, what t are they talking about? This one. Okay, so t is actually a z value, right? But let me tell you, you can't find your z value. You cannot find your t if you don't find your k first. Okay, so you have to find your k first. That's the only way. So the method now is you have to change this to equals and then letak k. But the k I will straight away letak atas. It becomes ky power 3 over square root z. Okay, why can letak atas is because when you letak K, the K have to times. You have to darab. And when you darab fraction, you darab atas saja. That's why I straight away write atas. Okay, the next step is to find K. But do you agree if you want to find K, you need to have all these three things. You need to have X, you need to have Y, you need to have Z. And don't forget the Y have to power 3, and don't forget the Z have to square root, right? So you kena ada tiga-tiga ni baru possible untuk cari K. So can you tell me, boleh tak saya sub dengan yang ni? X54, Y6, ZT. Can I sub this inside to find K? The answer is no. Because if you sub with this, later your Z tak bagi. So it's like you can't find your K later if you sub this. You need to make sure you have tiga-tiga kena ada. Semua tiga-tiga kena ada baru boleh. So the correct way is to sub this information first. Right? But sir, the question asks us to find T. Ya, saya tahu. Itu nanti dulu. You kena cari K dulu. You tak cari K, macam mana nak cari T? Right? So don't, that one T, that one later. Now we find K first. So the correct method is sub this one. X 1500. And then Y is 10. And then Z is 4. And when you sub also, tengok betul-betul look carefully. You don't terbalik masuk. Like for example, let's say the 4 you write atas, 10 you tulis bawah, then gone already. So make sure you sub betul-betul. Y is yang atas, Z is the one yang bawah. Okay, now let's continue here. 1500 equals to K. Okay, 10 power 3 is 1000. And then square root 4 is 2. 1000 divided 2, 500. Okay, so now K will be 1500 divided 500, which is 3. Okay, of course you can use your calculator to help you. You don't have to do it by yourself, and just press all this and then you'll get the answer. Okay, now you know your K already. Now it's time to put it back inside your equation and rewrite the whole thing. So X equals what? K, which is 3Y power 3 over square root Z. Sekarang baru you ganti information yang ni dalam. And now when you ganti, now you can find T already. Because you already have your K mah. Imagine if you don't find your K first. Cannot lah. Macam mana boleh. Okay, so X is 54 today's equals to 3Y power 3. Okay, Y is 6, right? And then over square root Z, right? Okay, but the Z, they put T. So Z is T, right? It means we don't know the value of T and we want to find T. But it's okay because I have the rest of the information already. So I can just pindah. Okay, first thing is I'll move this ke atas, square root T. Alright. And then the 54, I will move it down, become divide. So it becomes divide 54 here. Right? And then the 3 times 6 power 3, you can use calculator. Yeah, just press 3 times 6 power 3. You get 648 like this. Right? Okay, after you reach here, you can press 648 divide 54. So tekan je lah. Okay, my calculator give me 12. 12, Okay, the final step is to jadikan T single. So the square root kena hantar sana lah. So the square root when you move there becomes square. Okay, cek kuasa lepas pindah jadi kuasa 2. 12 square. So 12 square kalau tekan dapat 144. So the answer is 144. C. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, number 20. Find the value of P if 9P32 does not have the inverse matrix. Okay, if they say does not have inverse, means the determinant equals 0. What is determinant? AD minus BC. Okay, when I say AD minus BC means I mean this. If they give you 2 row, 2 column, this number is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, right? So the AD minus BC equals 0. Okay, when does not have inverse means you just do this. Okay, for this case, what is your AD? 9 times 2 lah, right? Minus B times Z would be 3 times P equals 0. And then now you can find your P. 9 minus 2 is 18. Okay, the minus 3B I can move become positive like this. Because I want to find P, so I try to make it positive. So your P is 6. So the answer is C. Alright? Okay, let me explain a bit why I have to do determinant equals 0. Alright? Of course, you don't have to understand the reason. You just need to remember kena buat macam ni lah. But I want to explain to you why is it like that. Okay, when you find inverse, like let's say this one is matrix A. Matrix A is ABCD. And let's say you want to find A inverse. The formula is 1 over AD minus BC, and then DA, and then negative B, negative C. You remember this? This is the formula to find inverse, right? But you need to know something. This number down here, this one, AD minus BC, we call this the determinant, right? We call this the determinant. And this determinant cannot equal 0. Yeah, cannot equal 0. You know why? Because if this whole thing equals to 0, 1 divide 0 will give you math error. Because you tak boleh bahagi kosong. If you tekan calculator 1 bahagi 0, dia bagi math error. That is why the determinant cannot equal 0. If the determinant equals 0 means the inverse does not exist. It means you can't find the inverse already. So tell me now, why this question I do determinant equals 0? Because they said this matrix does not have inverse. It means this number equals 0. Okay? Hey, sir, I thought you say cannot equal 0. Ya lah. Kalau dia, okay, it cannot equal 0 because if it's equals 0, then it does not have inverse. But the soalan sudah cakap this matrix does not have inverse. That means that the determinant will be 0 lah. Then because when the determinant is 0, then only dia takkan ada inverse. That's why I just do like that, right? Okay, I hope you understand. So let's continue. Okay, 21. Given matrix P is this, matrix Q is this. If the matrix P equals to Q, find value of X and Y. So they already said P equals to Q. It means this matrix and this matrix, dua-dua matrix ni adalah benda yang sama. So kita boleh banding, kita boleh compare, right? We can compare and then we can find out our X and Y. So this number right here will compare with this number, right? And then the middle one with the middle one, and then the one yang dekat sebelah kanan, the one yang sebelah kanan compare together. So it'll be y plus 1 equals -4. So y equals to -5. And if you look at ABCD, y -5, the answer is B, boy lah. Okay, yeah, okay, because the y has to be -5. You don't even have to compare the middle one or the right one or the other the right side, right? You don't have to do that because yep, you already get the answer already. And we are doing paper one. So you sudah nampak jawapan, just bulat saja. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. 22. Encik Ahmad is a taxi driver. His taxi travels 14 kilometers with 1 liter of petrol. So 1 liter, you can travel 14 kilometers, right? Calculate the cost of petrol for a journey of 378 kilometers if the price of 1 liter is 2 ringgit 5 cents. Okay, the cost of petrol for calculate cost of petrol for journey 378 kilometer. Okay, let's think about this. If 14 kilometer, you travel, you will use 1 liter. So if 378 kilometer, you will use how many liters to travel 378? Okay, very easy. You cuba tengok sini darab berapa. Sini darab berapa, sini pun darab berapa lah. So 14 times what is 378? You just press 378 divide 14. Okay, so 378 divide 14, you press, you get 27. That means from here to here, you have to times 27. It means from here to here also times 27. So 1 liter times 27 will give you 27 liters. It means 1 liter you can travel 14 kilometer, and 27 liter can calculate 378 kilometers, right? But the soalan never ask you to find liters. The soalan asks you to find cost in RM. But they could give you 1 liter price is 2 ringgit 5 cent. So if 1 liter price is 2 ringgit 5 cent, what is 27 liter punya price? You times 27 lah. And if you press this, you will get the answer. Okay, my calculator give me 55.35. So A, B, C, D, which one is the answer? B, 55.35. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. Let's go number 23. In diagram 6, ABD is an isosceles triangle. So isosceles means two sides, sama panjang. So they already labeled for me is these two sides. And one more thing, for isosceles triangle, they will have two angles that is same size. And it's always these two angle, right? So in this case, the two angle that is same is the angle at A and the angle at D, right? Yeah, this one. Okay. Okay, now what it says, ABC is a straight line. Okay, boleh find the value of X. Okay, very easy lah, this one. If ABC is straight line, you have 134 here, right? So how to get the angle beside here? Just take 180 minus 134. Okay, if you press calculator, you will get 46. Right? 46. But this is not X. So how to find X? Okay, this is a triangle, right? So in a triangle, what is the total angle? Jumlah angles, jumlah tiga angle. It will be 180, right? So you just take 180 minus 46, right? Which is 134. And then divide by 2. Because these two angles same size, right? So you end up with 134 divide 2. And if you press this, you will get 67. So C is the answer. Okay, this is how you do it. Okay, let's continue. Number 24. Okay, diagram 7 shows a parallelogram PQRS. Okay, let's check. PQRS is a parallelogram. Okay, what's so special about parallelogram is the opposite side will be parallel. These two sides parallel, and then the opposite side here parallel. Okay, parallel. Okay, which is drawn in a circle with center O. Oh, so this one I have to talk about circle lah. It means this is a cyclic quadrilateral. Yeah, this is a cyclic quadrilateral. Cyclic quadrilateral. Let me explain what is the mean what I talked about just now. Okay, this one actually is a Form 3 chapter. Yeah, Form 3 chapter. Form 3, there's a chapter called Angles and Tangent of Circle. And in that chapter, you learn about circle and you also learn about like tangent of circle. Okay. So let me talk to you about a few formulas. First thing I want to talk about is cyclic quadrilateral. Because this question they got mentioned apa? They got cakap pasal other related to this. Okay, what is cyclic quadrilateral? It means when you have a circle and you have a quadrilateral inside the circle. Quadrilateral means the other empat side and all the four bucu, the four vertices, the bucu, the corner is on the side of the circle. And if all four on the circle, then you can use this formula. A, B, C, D. So A plus C equals 180. B plus D equals 180. Okay, so it will be like this. Okay, A plus C, B plus D 180. But only when it's cyclic quadrilateral baru you boleh guna formula ni. Okay, and you have to make sure all the four corner have to be on the side of the circle. If it's not on the side, then cannot. Right. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is tangent. What is tangent? Tangent, okay, when the line touches the circle at one point, we call that a tangent line. Okay, this line we call it tangent, right? And what about this point right here? This point we call it the tangent point. Okay, so again, what is tangent? Tangent is when the line touches the circle at one point, right? So the line we call it tangent line because it only touch the circle at one point. But the contact point, that is called the tangent point, right? Okay, you need to remember from the circle center, tarik to any tangent point, it will always be 90 degree. Doesn't matter where is the tangent point. Doesn't matter. When you start tarik, it will always be 90, right? Okay, next thing I want to talk about is when you have a tangent line like this, let's say this is tangent line, it means it touches at one point. And this point, we call it tangent point, right? And if you tarik two lines from the tangent point, tarik two lines to the side of circle, and if you form a triangle like this, then this angle and this angle will be same. So let's call it x. And then this angle will be same with this angle, right? So the arrow will be like this. Okay. But of course, you have to make sure that this two corner is on the side of the circle. Okay, it has to be on the side. Dia kena sentuh tepi circle baru boleh apply ini, right? Okay, why I mention all this is because you need all this knowledge to answer this question, right? So let's read again from the beginning. Diagram 7 shows a parallelogram, so I already labeled the both sides parallel. Okay, the opposite sides are parallel, which is drawn in a circle with center O. Okay, boleh. TRU and TSV are tangent. TRU is this line, is tangent, right? And you can already see the tangent point is point R, right? And then the TSV is also tangent, right? Find the value of x plus y. Okay, I don't think you can find x plus y. I think you have to find x and y separately first, and then only you add together, right? So x is here and y is here. So how do we find it? Okay, first of all, I think I have to start with the 50 because this is the only place with information, right? You can see in other place langsung tak bagi any angle, right? The only tempat yang dia bagi angle is here. So I think I have to start from here. So let me tell you, if this is 50, this is 50, right? Okay, I know some of you maybe you can't see it. Maybe you will ask me like, "Hey, sir, why this one and this one, why 51?" Okay, it's because of this formula. Remember, I told you from tangent point, if you tarik two lines and if it forms a triangle, then this angle and this angle sama, this angle sama. So you can see that this triangle and this is the tangent point, right? So that's why this angle and this angle same. That's why I know that one is 50, right? Okay, next one. Oh, what happened? Wait. Okay, next one. You can also write y equals to 50 because you learned before in lines and angles, if you have a Z shape, if the two lines parallel, this angle and this angle mesti sama. Okay, but you have to make sure these two lines are parallel, then baru boleh. Okay, parallel, and then kalau ada Z macam tu, then these two angle is same angle. Okay, this one we call it alternate angle. Yang ni kita panggil dia alternate angle. So now you understand why this one 50 because Z this one 50. Okay, apa lagi angle yang saya boleh cari? So the y I sudah dapat 50 lah. But I need to find x, right? So I think I need to find more. I need to find more. So how ah? Let's see. Okay, I see it already. This is 90, and this is also 90. Okay, let me explain to you. When you have a diameter, okay, when you have let's say this is circle. If you tarik satu line macam ni, this line we call it diameter. When passes through the circle, sentuh side, sentuh the tepi circle, we call this diameter. Okay, when the diameter, if you tarik two lines like this from the diameter, you will get 90 degree. Doesn't matter where you tarik, it doesn't matter. Here also 90. If you tarik here also 90. If you tarik here also 90. Okay, if you tarik until the side, dia mesti 90. So you can see that this is a diameter because O is the center, right? So if you tarik here 90, here 90, so now you understand. So now I can find this angle already because one straight line is 180. 180 minus 50 minus 90, you get 40, right? And you can get this angle also because this is a tangent, remember? Tangent, I mean, center tarik to tangent point ma. This is tangent point, so this total is 90. So 90 minus 50 is 40, right? And now you can find your x. Just take 180 because this is a triangle. So in triangle, the total angle is 180. So 180 minus 40, you use calculator, you get 100. So now you have your x 100, you have your y 50. Now you can find x plus y. So what is 100 plus 50? 150 lah. So D is the answer. Okay, done. Okay, let's move on. Number 25. Okay, this is transformation, I think. So let's read. Diagram 8 shows trapezium, ABCD, and PQRS drawn on the Cartesian plane. Okay, whenever we do this kind of question, you need to be very careful and you need to label separate object, separate image. Yeah, very important. You have to really label this. If they will tell you whose object, whose image, and you have to label. PQRS is image of ABCD. Okay, straight away go PQRS, label image. The other one is object, right? This step is very important. Okay, now we already know whose object, whose image. Now they says under transformation enlargement. So yeah lah, because the size changed already. So obviously the Misty confirm is enlargement. State the factor scale for search enlargement. So they want to find scale factor. Okay, if you look at the image is getting smaller. Do you agree? And remember, we always start with object one. We start with object and then we end with image. And the object in this case is ABCD, and then the image is QRS. And we already know the transformation is enlargement, right? But you can see your image getting smaller. So that means your scale factor would be less than one. Okay? Yeah, it will be less than one. When your image getting smaller. So you can go to ABCD. Oh, all your scale factor is less than one. But I know it's not A and B. Confirm. Confirm is not A and B. Let me tell you why. If you look at the object and image, do you see that they are like upside down, right? It's inverted. Yeah, the correct word here is inverted. Do you know what is inverted? Inverted means your object and image is like terbalik already, like this, like upside down. Yeah. So when your image and object is upside down, your scale factor will be negative, right? And I can explain using the other way. Let me find the center of enlargement. Okay, so let me find out the center of enlargement for you. So you just join the corresponding point. Q and D is corresponding, R and A corresponding, T and B is the corresponding point, S and eh I think I see that already. S and B, S and B like this, and then P and C, right? Okay, why I join all these line is because to find the center of enlargement. So you can see the center is at here, 0, 6, right? And you need to know that if your object and image is at the opposite side from the center, the scale factor will be negative, right? But if it's like both your object image is on the same side, Jonto, this is your center. Your object is here, your image is here. They are both on the same side. Then the scale factor is positive, right? Okay, so remember this. If your object and image is at the opposite side from the center, is at like different side of the center, then the scale factor is negative, and also the object and image will be inverted. The image will be inverted, right? That is why I told you A and B confirm wrong. Okay, it should be negative. But is it 1/2 or 1/3? Okay, this one we have to use the scale factor formula. The formula is length of image divided length of object. Length, not area. Okay? If area, you have to square root already. If you want to take area of image divide area, then you have to square it. Okay, but this one you can just find the length, right? But you need to take the length of image. So which one is image? This one, right? So just choose any length you want, any sides. Okay, let's say I choose this side Q. So PQ is how many unit? 3 unit. So that is the length of image. I have to divide with the length of object. But if you're choosing PQ, then you have to choose AD for your object. Wait, correct ah? No, 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 no. If you want to change PQ, then you have to take DC for your object because you have to take corresponding sides. Okay, corresponding. So DC will be your corresponding. Because PQ kawan dia DC. So you have to divide with this lah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 bahagi 9. So your scale factor is 1 over 3. But since your object and image is at different side, that that's why you have to letak negative. That's why it's like negative 1 over 3. Okay. So remember, when the object and image is at opposite side, okay, it's on a different side, then it's on opposite direction. Opposite direction. Then you have to letak negative. All right. And also, if your scale factor negative, your image will be inverted. Inverted. That's why you see this one terbalik. Okay, I think I know the answer already. Negative 1 over 3. So D lah. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Number 26. I think this is also transformation. Diagram 9 shows 7 points on a square grid. Okay. Okay. Q is the image of P. Okay. Whenever they say separate image, separate object, you should always label it. So Q, go here, just put an I like this. So now you know this is image of P. So P is the object under a reflection. So this one is image under reflection. So what you have to do now, find the point that connects H, form the axis of reflection. So A is K, B is L, M, N. Okay, so they are asking you which one is the reflection line, right? So they already tell you that find point that connects H to form axis of reflection. It means your reflection line confirm got passes through H. But they are asking you whether it's HK, HL, HM, or HN. Okay. But I think the answer is HL. Yeah, I think it's HL. Right? Okay, let me try one by one and explain to you why. Okay, let's try with HK first. Okay, why this one cannot be the reflection line? Because when you draw a reflection line, the distance, okay, the distance, if you draw a line joining PQ, the distance here and distance here should be same. Then only we can say that's the reflection line. So you can see this one, you don't need your ruler. You don't need to measure. You use your eyes, you guna mata pun nampak dah. Jarak sini dengan jarak sini tak sama. So I don't think it's HK. So let's try with HN. This one also no make sense because if you join a line from PQ, you can see that this distance right here and this distance right here is not the same. Okay. Of course, you can use your ruler also to measure. Like just measure got how many cm lah. Like just measure this part got how many cm, this part got how many cm, right? But actually you don't need lah. Just guna mata tengok pun you boleh nampak dah. This side lebih panjang kan, ini lebih pendek. So yeah, this cannot be the reflection line. So let's try with M. Okay, this one also confirm no lah. Because imagine if you join like this. This one, what do you think? Jarak dia sama? Tak sama mah. Okay, so the only answer yang possible is HL. Oops, HL. So let me draw the HL line and prove to you that the distance will be same. So remember this, when you do reflection, the distance from object to line and distance from image to line mesti sentiasa sama. So you can see distance from object to line and distance from image to line is exactly the same distance, right? So you can tengok sini dia 1, 1, 2, right? This one also 1, 2. Okay. So this is the answer lah. So L is the answer. So B boy. Okay. Okay, that's all. Okay, number 27. Diagram 10 shows a right angle triangle JKL. So when you see right angle, you have to think about Pythagoras theorem and you also have to think about SOHCAHTOA, the trigonometry, sine, cos, tangent, right? Because that's the two formulas that you can use for right angle triangle. Okay. Okay, so now they already said given JL is 26. Label this JL mana? Sini 26. And do you realize this is actually the hypotenuse for this triangle, right? Okay, now they says cos y is negative 5/13. Okay, how to label this? A lot of students tak pandai label this one kan. Dia tak pandai buat ini sin cos tan. So the way I teach my student is check your angle, make sure it's in quadrant 1 first. This is how I always teach my student. I always say the same thing. Kalau dia bagi apa sine angle or cos angle, tangent angle punya answer, you check your angle, make sure the angle is in quadrant 1. If it's not in quadrant 1, you better find your reference angle. If it's not in quadrant 1, straight away find the reference angle. And let me give you the nota how to find reference angle. If it's quadrant 2, you take 180 minus to find the reference angle. If it's quadrant 3, you minus 180. If it's quadrant 4, you take 360 minus. This is how you find the reference angle. If it's quadrant 2 like this, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay, let's check your angle Y first. Is this quadrant 1? The answer is no. The answer is no. Why no? Because you use your mata tengok lah. Okay. You use your IC, you know it's not quadrant 1. Because you can see that 90 degrees is like this. You can see this Y clearly is more than 90 already. Right? You don't need the question to tell you it's not quadrant 1. You use your eyes, you boleh nampak already. So this angle confirm lebih 90 one. So it's quadrant 2 lah. So if quadrant 2, how to get the reference angle? 180 minus. And if you take 180 minus Y, you end up with this angle right here. Okay, because this is a straight line. It means this angle, I will call it alpha. This angle, we call it reference angle. Okay, so this angle is reference angle. Okay, uh, if you already find out the reference angle, I want you to understand something. When you try to find sine alpha and sine y, you will get same answer. Sine alpha and sine y will give you the same answer. Cos alpha and cos y also give you same answer. Tangent alpha and tangent y also give you same answer. Because this is like reference angle of each other. So the sine alpha, sine y, same answer. Cos alpha, cos y, same answer. Tangent alpha and tangent y also same answer. It's just that the positive, negative tak sama saja. It's just that the sign maybe not same, the positive, negative, but the value come out same. So if I tell you cos y is negative 5/13, what is cos alpha? It will be 5/13 also lah. Right? It's just that it's not other negative already because it's quadrant 1. Right? Because in quadrant 1, all positive. Okay, remember this, add sugar to coffee. Okay, so it means the negative is not important. Yang penting is the 5 and 13 lah. Okay, now we already find out our reference angle. Now we can determine who's the opposite adjacent hypotenuse. So, depan angle kita panggil opposite, depan 90 kita panggil hypotenuse, and then the remaining is adjacent. You can only determine opposite adjacent hypotenuse when it's a right angle triangle. If it's not a right angle triangle, you are not able to letak your opposite adjacent hypotenuse one. Right? So remember to follow the step I teach you. If the angle is not in first quadrant, get the reference angle. And after you get the reference angle, confirm the reference angle will be inside the right angle one. Confirm. Okay? Then you can straight away label your adjacent, hypotenuse, opposite. Okay, after labeling everything, now you can go to your information. Cos punya formula is K. Okay, because soka toa, right? So cos is adjacent of hypotenuse. So the A is 5, the H is 13. So just go and erase the A, just put 5. But make sure you circle it. Make sure you bulatkan. Because this 5 is not the 5, it's not 5 cm. It's just a ratio. It's just a ratio. Okay, go to H, do the same thing. Write 13, but make sure you bulatkan. You circle, okay? Because this is not 13 cm, it's 13 ratio. Okay? Okay, you can see that this is 26 cm. You remember? Yeah, this one they give in the soalan just now. So the ratio is 13 and in cm is 26. So can you tell me 13 how to become 26? Times 2, right? 13 macam mana nak jadi 26? Darab 2 kan? So tell me what is the panjang KL? 5 times 2 also lah. So you end up with 10 cm here, right? And now you can find the JK panjang by using Pythagoras theorem. Because you already have the other two sides, right? But let's not find it first. Let's see what they find. Let's see what they want. They want to find the value of km. So actually, you don't need to find jk. Okay, can lah, but it's useless. Yeah, it's useless. What they want is this km. So you already know KL is 10. Here also 10 also. Why I know this one also 10 is because they got put a line like this. When they put line like this, it means they are trying to tell you this and this sama panjang. Okay, this line is indicating they have the sama panjang. So 10 plus 10 is 20. The answer is D. Okay, okay, that's all. Sudah siap? Okay, 28. Diagram 11 shows a solid lies on a horizontal plane. So this is a solid and it lies on the horizontal plane. It means it's like a flat surface lah. Okay, like this thing I placed. So it looks like a cup, right? Dia nampak macam satu cawan, tapi yang sudah terbalik punya cawan. Because cawan is usually like this, right? Cawan. Okay, but it's like terbalik already lah. Cawan yang sudah terbalik. Okay, so kalau cawan terbalik, letak atas meja, and you tengok daripada X macam mana? Which of the following represents the orthogonal projection of solid on vertical line as viewed from X? Apa? Yang manakah mewakili unjuran ortogon terpejal pada sata mencancang sebagaimana dilihat dari X? So, cuba imagine. Kalau cawan tu terbalik, saya pandang dari X, apa saya nampak? So, A, B, C, D yang mana? Okay, the answer is B. I mean C. C. Because this one, if you tengok dari X, you won't be able to nampak the curve one. Dia takkan nampak curve macam ni kan. Same thing, the dotted line also takkan nampak one. You just nampak satu line macam ni. Sebab you pandang dari X. So bila you pandang dari X, this line will get covered by this line. And all you see is just a line like this, right? Same with atas lah. You also nampak satu straight line macam ni je. Okay. So I think this one nothing to explain lah. This one just kena imagine lah. And I hope you can imagine it yourself. Ini just imagine saja. Okay, so nothing to explain here, right? Just imagine. Okay, let's do 29. Which of the following is not a statement? Statement means you can determine whether it's true or false. Okay, you boleh tentukan nilai kebenaran. Okay, kalau boleh tentukan nilai kebenaran, statement. Kalau tak boleh tentukan nilai kebenaran, tak boleh tentukan true false, then bukan statement lah. So A, m plus 2m is 3m. This is true. Yeah, 1m plus 2m is 3m. True. 5 plus 7 is 13. This is false. Because 5 plus 7 is 12. It's not 13. What about this? 1, 2, 3 is a subset of 9, 6, 3, 2, 1. This is true. Yeah. Because 1, 2, 3 is indeed subset. Okay. Do you remember what is subset? Subset means like anak dia lah. Anak dia. Anak dia means like it's like sebahagian. 1, 2, 3 is sebahagian daripada sini. It's a part of this. Which is true lah. Because 1, 2, 3 is ada dalam sini. So 1, 2, 3 is a subset. So this is true. D, 2y equals to 9. Is this true or false? You can't say it's true and you can't say it's false. Because this is not a statement. So the answer is D. Right? Because 2y equals to 9. Okay, if I say like that, 2, 6 equals to 9. Then this is statement. Because you can prove to me whether it's true or false. 2 times 6 is 12, right? So 12 equals to 9, which is false, right? But you can determine true false, so it's a statement, right? But if I just put you 2y equals to 9, you don't even know what is y. So it's like you can't determine whether it's true or false, right? Because they never tell you the y value. So it's like it's not a statement. Okay? Okay, so sudah siap, that's the answer. Okay, number 30, diagram 12 shows Venn diagram with universal set P union Q union R. This is not important. They're just trying to tell you PQR, all these are the universal, tapi tak penting. Which of the following region A, B, C, D represent this, right? Okay, the method I will do is I will always do it like this. I will label every kawasan, every region. I will just label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, right? And then I will start to look at the soalan and try to see which one is the region lah. Okay, if the other bracket sini, kalau tak ada bracket, we do from left to right. It means we have to do this one first. P complement intersect Q, right? Okay, what is P complement? P complement means everything except P. So if you look at P circle is this one. So what is inside P? 1, 2, 3. So what is P complement? 4 and 5, right? So 4 and 5, this is the answer for P complement, the region for P complement. But I have to intersect Q, all right? Okay, don't look at the intersect first. Let's write down the region for Q. Q is this circle. So what region represents Q? It will be 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because all this region is inside Q. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you have to do intersect. Intersect means you ambil dia punya intersection, ambil dia punya persilangan. So can you tell me what is the overlap here? The intersection here, 5 and 4, right? It means the answer for P complement intersect Q is 4 and 5. Okay, which is here, right? But it's not over yet. I still have to intersect R. Remember this? I have to intersect lagi dengan R. And I will write my R here. So let's look at R now. R is this circle. And what is inside circle R? 3 and 4. It means the region 3, 4 represents circle R. Now you have to do intersect, take 4, 5, intersect 3, 4, then I will get my answer. So you can see that their intersection, the persilangan is 4. Okay. Intersect means you choose yang dua-dua ada lah. Yang dua-dua ada. So kawasan yang dua-dua ada, yang overlap, the overlap region here is 4 lah. So the answer is D. It means that the shaded region is only the kawasan here. Okay, that is why the answer is D lah. Right? Okay, sudah siap. This is the answer. Okay, let's move on. Okay, 31. Which of the following is a valid and reasonable argument? Okay, reasonable means sound. Okay, sound. Okay, uh, I will give you the notes first. So valid. Okay, this one is deductive argument. Okay, deductive. So deductive argument. There is 3 valid form. There's only 3 valid form. So form number 1. Okay. So the form number 1 looks like this. Premise 1, all A are B. And then C is A. Premise 2, C is A. Conclusion, C is B. Okay, this is form number 1. Okay, next one is form number 2. Okay, form number 2. The premise 1 is if P then Q. Okay, if P then Q. And premise 2, if sorry, P is true. Okay, P is true. And then conclusion, Q is also true. Okay. Okay, last one is form number 3. Okay, form ketiga. Ini semua kena tahu everything I write here is like ini semua kena tahu. Okay, penting. Ini semua penting. Okay, so form number 3, premise 1, if P then Q, same like just now lah. If P then Q. Okay, but the premise 2 will be different already. Q is not true. Okay, Q is not true. Alright. Okay, and then conclusion, P is not true. Okay, what is this? What is this? What is this? This is the 3 valid form of deductive argument. Okay, so apa benda ni? Ini adalah 3 valid form untuk deductive argument. So, kalau you punya argument tak ada follow 3 form ni, tak ada ikut format ni, maksudnya dia tak ada valid. Dia bukan valid. It's not valid. If you never follow any of these 3 form, then it's not valid, right? Then what about sound? What is sound? Okay, sound and reasonable is same meaning. Sound is, okay, sound is when all premise and conclusion is true, then we say it's sound, right? So if one of it is false, then it's not sound lah. Okay, so sekali lagi, how to know whether it's valid or not? Check whether dia ada ikut, because there's only 3 form, 3 valid form. So kalau dia check format lah. So kalau nak tahu valid ke tak valid, check format. And then if you want to know sound or not sound, look at the truth value of the premise and conclusion. Kalau semua true, then sound lah. Tapi kalau ada satu false, then not sound, right? Okay, the argument can be valid, but it can also be not valid, right? Depending on whether you follow the format or not. Okay, if you follow what, there's only 3 valid form of deductive argument. Okay, so kena hafal tiga form ni. Okay, but when you are valid, it can be sound, but it can also be not sound, right? It means kalau dia valid, kalau dia ada ikut one of these format, dia boleh jadi sound or not sound, right? Kalau sound means semua all premise and conclusion true lah. And then kalau not sound means tak semua yang true lah. Not all premise conclusion true. But you need to know something. Kalau dia not valid means kalau dia tak ikut 3 form ni, then confirm dia automatic not sound lah. Not valid automatic dia satu jalan saja. Not valid dia mesti not sound. Dia tak boleh not valid and sound. Tak ada. Not possible. It's not possible. So kalau not valid mesti not sound. Okay, I think I'm done teaching. I'm done talking already. I want to do this question now. Which of the following is valid and reasonable argument? Okay, let's check the validity first. Okay, let's check which one is valid first. So please tell me, A, adakah ini valid? All multiples of 5 are multiples of 10. So I think I can underline this. This would be my A, this would be my B, right? And then 35, this is the new one. C is multiple of 5. So yeah, C is A. Multiple of 5 is A. And then 35, C, multiple of 10, this one is B. So is this valid? Yes. Because the other follow form number 1. So I'll write here, valid. Okay, valid. Okay. But you cannot but this not tak semestinya ini jawapan. Okay, you have to check BCD. Okay, okay, B is what? All square are right angle. So this one square is the A. Right angle, this is the B. Right? So just like this, all A are B. So confirm is not form number two, form number three lah. Because form number two, form number three, you have to ada perkataan if then. So this the only that's why I write A B. Okay, PQRS is a square. So PQRS is new one, C is square. So C is A, this one is C is right angle is B. So this one is also valid, right? Because all A are B, C is A, C is B. So the other follow form number one, right? Hey, but imagine what if here I write PQRS is right angle. What if I change the premise to I write PQRS is right angle? Then it's not valid already. Yeah, it's not valid already because dia tak ikut dah. Sebab kalau you tulis C is B sini then it's not valid already. So dia tak ada ikut format, not valid. Okay, but this one is valid lah. Okay, what about C? Tell me valid or not valid? C, C, C. If something, then something. Okay, kalau dia ada perkataan if something, then it's either form number 2 or form number 3 lah. So yang ni confirm P, yang ni confirm Q, right? Okay, the next premise 2, they say 3x minus 8 is 16. It means they mention Q, right? They mention Q first, right? But they never do negation. So C is not valid. Yeah, C is not valid, right? Let me tell you why. Because if you want look at the form number 2. Form number 2, in premise 2, you mention P first. But if you mention P, you will just mention P is true. But for form number 3, you will mention Q first, but you have to mention that it's not true. It means you have to do negation for Q. So if you look at this this C answer, they mention Q first, right? But if you want to mention Q first, you have to do negation. Then only it follows the form number 3. Okay. If you don't if you want to mention Q but you don't want to do negation, then it's not valid already because it doesn't follow any because there's only 3 valid form of argument. Okay, there's only 3 valid form, and you never follow any of this form, right? So that's why it's not valid. Okay, let's do D, last one. Premise 1, if X is even number 3, okay, this one is P, this one is Q lah. Okay, because kalau the other if then this one PQ. Okay, let's see the next one. They mention P dulu or Q dulu. So they say 3x is an even number, so they actually mention P, and they never do negation. So they just mention P is true lah. And then the conclusion, they say X is not an even number. Hey, suddenly here they do negation. So this one is not valid also. Okay, kenapa? Sebab, okay, dia ada mention if P then Q, right? And then the premise 2, they mention P is true, right? So the conclusion should be Q is true. So the conclusion here should be 3x is an even number. Tapi dia pergi tulis X is not an even number. Wait. Actually, there's something wrong here, right? Kenapa dia mention this should be X is an even number, right? Okay lah, but that's not the point lah. The point is it's not valid lah. It's not valid. Because if you want to do negation, you will do it for both one. You tak boleh satu buat negation, satu tak buat. Okay? So I think my point here is like it's not valid lah. It's not valid. Yeah. So ini memang tak ikut format langsung. Okay? When you do negation, you have to do for both. Both P and Q. And also if you want to do negation, you have to mention Q dulu. Kalau nak buat negation. Sebab dia form number 3 memang macam tu. You mention kalau nak buat negation, do it for both P and Q, but you have to mention Q dulu. Okay, I think I know C and D wrong already because they ask which one is valid, right? So it's either A or B. Now we check whether which one is like sound lah. Oh, I nak cakap juga for C and D if it's not valid, automatic is not sound already. Okay, automatic dia tak tak munasabah, not sound, not sound. Even if all the premise conclusion true also, it's not sound already. Because if not valid, I told you already, not valid dia satu jalan je, not sound. Tapi kalau valid dia boleh jadi sound or not sound, right? Okay, tell me A and B, which one is valid and sound? Okay, sound means you kena check dia punya true value. All premise and conclusion must be true. So let's think about this. All multiples 5 are multiple of 10. Betul tak semua gandaan 5 ialah gandaan 10? Okay, gandaan 5 ada apa? 5, 10, 15, 20 semualah. dot dot dot. Gandaan 10, 10 ada apa? 10, 20, 30. Okay, now think about this. Adakah semua gandaan 5, gandaan 10 are all multiples of 5, multiple of 10? The answer is no. Because 5 is not multiple of 10, 15 is not multiple of 10. So the premise 1 is already false, right? So this is not sound. This is not sound. Valid, but not sound, right? So A is not the answer. So I think B is the answer, right? And also, if you look at the premise 2 here, 35 is multiple of 5. Okay, this one true, but the conclusion is wrong. 35 is multiple of 10. Eh, no lah. 35 is not multiple of 10, right? So it's not sound because the premise 1 and conclusion is not true. Okay, so so the answer is B. But let's check. Is it true? All squares are right angle. Okay, I think what they meant is like the square punya every angle is 90 degree, correct lah. Square memang macam tu. Okay, and then if PQRS is a square, then PQRS, all the angle at PQRS will be right angle, correct lah. Right angle means 90 degree. Okay, so yeah, B is the answer because it's valid. Dia ada ikut form number 1, dia ada ikut format, and dia sound sebab dia punya all the premise and conclusion semua true. Okay, so B boy is the answer, right? Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's do number 32. Diagram 13 shows a Venn diagram with universal set P union T union S. Okay, this one is not important. And then T is students who play table tennis. So I will label. So P I will write table tennis. Mean ping pong lah. So table tennis. Okay. Ataupun ping pong. Okay, T is students who play tennis. So T label tennis. And then okay, and then S is student who play football. So football, soccer, football. Okay, now it says given that N universal 100. Okay, this one confirm mesti penting one. Okay, this information confirm penting. Okay, what is universal? Universal set means semua kawasan ni tambah bilangan elemen dalam semua kawasan ni 100 lah. Itu maksud dia. Right? Okay, I want you to take note here. They never put dot. Okay, like all these numbers 20, 10, 20, they never put dot. So if they never put dot means what? It means this is not element, this is number of element, bilangan element. Alright, and I think in this case dia sebenarnya bilangan student. Bilangan student. Okay, so sekarang dia cakap calculate number of students who play only 2 games. Right? Okay, the student who play 2 games is 2Y, 10 and 7. Alright. The Y kita yang middle sini tak ambil. So the middle one is for student yang main 3 game. Dia main table tennis and football. N bukan or N. N. Okay, what about the 16? This one is tennis only. Orang yang main 1 game only. This one is main 1 game only also. So the one who play only 2 games is this and this. The keyword here is only. Okay, the keyword here is only. Okay. So kalau only means this, right? Tapi you perasan tak, you tak dapat cari jumlah. You cannot find the jumlah now because you tak ada nilai y kan. You don't have y. That's why you can't you cannot plus these 3 numbers together. So I think my mission now is to cari y first, find y. Okay, how to find y? Use this information lah. They say N universal is 100 and they already said universal is P union T union S. It means the 100 is for all this add together. So just tambah semua lah, and then pindah cari y dulu. So 20 plus 2y plus y, and then plus 10, and then plus 16 plus 7 plus 20 equals 100, right? Okay, now equals 100. Okay, y dengan y boleh buat, number dengan number boleh buat. So 2y plus y is 3y. 20 plus 10, 30 plus 20, 50, 50 plus 23. My calculator give me 73. Okay, so here is plus 73. Okay, now how to find y? Use your calculator lah. Plus 73, move over there, become minus 100 minus 73. 27. So 27 times 3, move there, become divide 3. So you get 9. So now you already know your y is 9. So it means this is 9 lah. And what is this? 2 times y is 2 times 9, which is 18. So now you can find number of students who play only 2 games. 18 plus 10 plus 7. So I think you get 35. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you. So that's the answer. So sudah siap lah. Okay, let's continue. 33, diagram 14 shows a network graph with a loop. Okay, there's a loop here. Which of the following is the sum of degree of vertex for the graph? Okay, boleh. Sum of degree of all vertices. Okay, this is the this symbol is sum. It means sum. And then D is degree lah. And then the V is the vertex. So what this means, sum of degree of all vertices. Okay. Okay, if you want to find the sum of degree of all vertices, you can straight away use the formula 2 times NE. Okay. Of course, the other way is to find the degree of each vertex separately and then tambah semua. But it's a bit slow lah if you do like that, but can also. You can do it slowly like this. Find the degree of vertex P, and then find the degree of vertex Q, and then find the degree of vertex R, and then find it after you cari asing, and then tambah semua. This answer will be same with this answer. Okay? Okay, but I'll just do it the fast way lah. The fast way just dua darab bilangan sisi, bilangan tepi, the number of edges. So let's count got how many edges? One, two, three. Okay, the loops we only count it as one edge. Okay, one edge. Loop ni kita kira dia sebagai kita kira dia satu edge saja. So it's like one, two, three, so four edge, right? So remember that loop kita kira dia satu edge. Tapi kalau nak kira degree, kita kira dua. Okay, I repeat, loop, we count it as one edge. But if you want to count the degree for loop, the degree of loop is 2, right? But I don't want the degree of loop now. I want the number of edge. So that's why the loop, we count it as one edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 8. And the answer is D donkey, right? Okay, I think for your, for you, to make sure you really understand, I think it's important I mentioned this also. I think I should teach you. I think I should show you this using the apa, if I do it separately also. Okay, so what's the degree of vertex P? Degree means ada berapa line connect to that vertex, right? So can you tell me vertex P ada berapa line connect to P? 1, 2, so 2. Degree of vertex Q, berapa line? How many edges connected to vertex Q? 2, so 2 lah. Okay, tell me for vertex R, the other loop. So berapa edge? Okay, how many edge is connected to vertex R? How many tepi? 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember I told you the degree of loop is 2, right? But when you count how many edge is only one edge. Loop is like when we kira edge dia satu edge saja. Tapi kalau nak kira degree dia kira dua lah. So in total is like 2. The degree of loop here is 2 and then 3, 4 like this, right? And then when you tambah semua you get 8 also. So it's like same answer lah, you do like that, right? So it's the same lah. I just want to mention, I just want to teach because I want to make sure you all know how to kira the degree of loop. Okay, just want to make sure you all know how to find the degree of loop. All right, so hope you understand. That's all. Okay, let's continue with number 34. This one also network in graph theory. So they say diagram 15 shows a directed graph. Directed means graph terarah, graph yang ada direction. Okay, direction. It means one way lah. All the jalan is one way. Okay, directed. Which of the following is not true? Okay, so I think I will straight away look at the answer. Saya akan terus tengok jawapan and then terus I terus look at the answer and see which one is true, which one not true. Okay, they say D in T is 3, D out T is 1. So I think I have to look at T, right? And check whether the degree going in and degree going out, check whether it's 3 and 1. Okay, degree means the number of edges connected to that vertex. But since this is a directed graph, some lines will go in, some lines will go out. So we have to check the direction also. So degree in T is 3. Is this true? 3 lines going in T. So I see 1 line going in, 2 lines going in T, 3 lines going in T. So betul lah, 3 degree in T is 3 and degree out P is 1, right? So this is true, right? Okay, let's check for degree in R and degree out R. So this is R. So I can see 1 line going out, 2 lines going out. So the degree out for R should be 2. So degree out R is correct. And the degree in R is 0. Yeah, correct. Because there's no lines going in R, right? Okay, what about C? Degree in S is 1. So where is S? Here, right? So how many lines going in? Okay, I see 1 going in, 2 going in. Look at the arrow. 1, 2 going in. Okay, this one going out, this one going out. So it's actually 2 in, 2 out for S. So it should be 2 in, 2 out. So this is wrong, this is wrong. So C is the answer lah. Because they asked which one is not true. C is not true. Okay, it should be 2, 2 here. But they write 1, 3. So this is not true. So which one is not true? C is not true. So C is the answer. Okay, so D, what about D? Okay, D is not the answer, but let's check also. Degree in T is 1, degree out T is 1. Is it correct? Let's go and T. Betul lah. 1 going in T, 1 going out T. So yeah, this is correct. So they're asking which one not true. So C is not true. C is the answer. Okay, let's continue. 35. What is this? Table 3 shows the data on the number of goals for a football match. Okay, this data, number of goals, frequency. Okay, boleh. If the median is 4, find the value of X. So this X, right? Okay. Uh, the way I will do it is I will straight away look at the answer. Just straight away tengok jawapan and then letak 1. Contoh lah, A is 1, right? So you just anggap X is 1, right? And then try to find median. And if the median you tak dapat 4, then you try with B. Try with B answer. Try to masuk and then try to find median. And if tak dapat 4 also, then try with 5 and then try with 6. And then mesti ada satu, and then you mesti ada satu yang dapat median 4, itulah jawapan you. Yeah. Okay, let's imagine X is 1. So tell me, frequency is what? Kekerapan, right? It means if I say 1 means one it means like this 1, right? And what does it mean by 2 2? It means 2 the frequency dua kali. 3 1 means what? 3 the frequency sekali. And then 4 3 means like 4 4 4 like that. And then 5 frequency 4 means like 5 muncul 4 kali macam ni. Frequency means muncul berapa kali. Okay? Frequency means like it appears how many times, right? Okay, so tell me, is the median 4? So you can cut, median means the median number, cut, 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 cut. So the median is 4. So A is the answer. That's all. So they say median is 4, find value of X. So 1 lah. Because when X is 1, you really get the median 4. So A is the answer, right? Okay, B confirm wrong. Confirm. Because if this one become 4, yeah, confirm your median is not 4 already. Yeah, it will be some other numbers, right? And C and D you don't need to try already. Okay, but if you want to try yourself, you can try yourself, but I won't do it. Okay, because I don't want to waste my time. So I already know A is the answer. Why should I waste my time, right? So just bulat and then move on. Okay, I know some students they will use this formula, n plus 1 over 2. Okay, this formula you can use also. This is the formula to find median. Okay, but this formula they would you have to kira got how many numbers lah? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So 11 plus 1 12 12 divide 2 6. It means your median is at the 6th position, and then you count 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay also. Okay, so you nak buat macam ni pun boleh. But this formula I only use it when the frequency sangat besar. It means ada banyak-banyak number. Because bila ada banyak-banyak number, susah nak potong satu-satu. So then I will use this formula. Tapi kalau untuk soalan case ni, dia punya number tak banyak sangat. So I just senaraikan and just potong sajalah. Right? Okay. I think this is good enough. I think I explained very complete already. Okay. Okay, 36. Given that sine theta is negative 0.5, theta is in between 0 and 360, calculate value of theta. Okay, sine equals to negative 0.5. This is normal case, right? If the sine theta equals to 0, ataupun sine theta equals to 1 or sine theta equals to negative 1, that one is special case, right? And in total got 7 special case, right? Sine equals 0, sine equals 1, sine equals negative 1, and then cos equals 0, cos equals 1, cos equals negative 1, and then tangent equals 0. Okay, so in total got 7 special case, but this one is normal case. So for normal case, how you do it is you use calculator to get the reference angle first. But how you tekan, okay, first the sign can pindah, it becomes sign inverse, but the negative jangan tekan. Jangan tekan the negative. The negative only indicates quadrant. So don't press the negative. You just press shift sign 0.5. You get 30 degree, right? But this is not the answer. This angle, we call it reference angle. Sudut rujukan. So you have to convert your reference angle to the quadrant you want. So if you want to convert quadrant 2, you take 180 minus. You want to convert quadrant 3, you minus 180. Sorry, you plus 180. Sorry. And then you want to convert quadrant 4, you take 360 minus. Right? And which quadrant you will convert, you will have to check with the sign. So they are kata sign negative, right? So we all know add sugar to coffee. So set positive, sign positive is first quadrant and second quadrant. So sign negative must be third quadrant and fourth quadrant. And they already said they want your angle to be in between 0 and 360. It means they want your angle to be in quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4. So confirm is 3 and 4 lah, because the sign is negative, right? So this two quadrant answer, you kena ambil quadrant 3 and quadrant 4 punya jawapan. So tell me now, 30 degree, how to convert to quadrant 3? According to my notes here, have to plus 180. So 30 plus 180 is 210. And then how to convert to quadrant 4 is 360 minus the reference angle 30. So 330. So this is the answer in quadrant 3. This is the answer in quadrant 4. So now calculate value of theta. So A, B, C, D, which one is answer? C. Eh? But actually, there should be two answers, 210 and 330. Okay, so if this is paper 2 questions, you need to write down both. If it's paper 2 lah, but this is paper 1, right? And paper 1 you just bulat saja. Kalau you bulat betul, confirm betul already. But this is the correct working lah. So 210 and 330, you can see that only 210 other, the 330 is not here, right? But I want you to know that yang sebenarnya ada lagi satu jawapan, which is 330. There's two answers, right? Okay, sudah siap. Let's continue. Okay, 37. Let's read. A box contains 36 pens. 1 over 4 is yellow pen. So 36, yellow pen, and 1 over 4, right? So I think I can count got how many yellow pen. Just take 36 times 1 over 4, you get 9. Maksudnya bilangan yellow pen is 9 lah. Okay, a pen is drawn at random from the box. Calculate probability of choosing a pen that is not yellow. Okay, I already know 9 is yellow. So how many is not yellow? 36 minus 9 lah. So 36 minus 9, what is the answer? 27, right? So what is but they're asking the probability of choosing not yellow. So the probability formula is PA formula is NA over NS, right? And in this case, the A represent pen yang bukan yellow. So the probability of bukan yellow is formula would be ambil bilangan yang bukan yellow bahagi total. So bilangan pen yang bukan yellow is 27, divide total is 36. So this one is the answer. But this one can simplify. Boleh bahagi 9. Divide 9. So bahagi 9 is 3. Bahagi 9 is 4. So the answer is B, boy. Right? Okay, I know some student yang pandai dia akan cakap apa? Sir, kenapa you tak buat 1 minus 1 over 4? Can also, can also. Yeah, because they want to find probability of not yellow. Dia sudah bagi probability yellow 1 over 4, right? So total probability mesti 1. The total probability will always be 1. So if the probability of yellow is 1 over 4, then not yellow is 1 minus 1 over 4. So actually it's faster, right? If you do it like that. Can also. You want to do like that, can also. Right? Okay, so yeah, that's the explanation. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, 38. What is this? Shamila, an outstanding SPM 2023 student, has applied for scholarship from 3 sponsoring organizations. The probability of Shamila getting a scholarship offer from Petronas, Mara, and Yayasan Terengganu are this, and this. So ini semua probability of getting the scholarship. So I will write here probability of P. Okay, 3 over 5. Right? So this is the probability of Petronas, getting Petronas scholarship, right? Okay, whenever they give you probability of something, immediately find the probability of the opposite. So if 3 over 5, what's the other probability? It will be 1 minus 3 over 5, which is 2 over 5, right? And this will be the probability of not getting the Petronas scholarship. So I will put P prime here. Faham kan? Okay, let's do one more time. Probability of getting Mara scholarship is 5 over 9. So what is the probability of not getting Mara? 4 over 9. How you get it? Just take 1 minus 5 over 9. Because total probability is always 1. Okay, next one. Probability of getting Yayasan scholarship is 7 over 12. So what's the probability of Y prime? Y prime means not getting Yayasan. So it'll be 5 over 12. Because 1 minus 7 over 12 like this, right? Okay, I know some of you will say like, hey, but sir, why you find the probability of not getting scholarship? The soalan tak suruh. Hey, when you do probability question, you always find the opposite, how to say? The opposite punya probability, the other probability. Dia selalu tanya macam ni one in exam. So just find the other one. So if they give you probability of boy, you can always find the probability of not boy. Walaupun soalan dia tak suruh, but you just find it lah, just find it. Okay, now let's see what the question wants. Calculate the what? The probability that Shamila gets at least one offer from sponsoring body. Okay, a lot of student dia tak pandai buat soalan jenis ni sebab dia tak tulis semua possibility dulu. So the tips I can give you is when you're doing this kind of probability question, tulis semua possibility dulu. Write down, list down semua, senaraikan semua possibility dulu. Jangan terus buat. So yang at least one ni saya tak nak tengok dulu. Saya tak nak tengok dulu. Saya buat-buat tak nampak, saya nak tulis semua possibility dulu. So, he mohon 3 scholarship. So, what are all the possibilities? Maybe he will end up getting all 3. Okay, PMY. So, PMY means 3-3 dapat. Ataupun, maybe P tak dapat, tapi MY dapat. Okay, it means dia dapat 2 sajalah. Ataupun maybe dia dapat yang Petronas, tapi yang Mara tak dapat M prime. Tapi yang yayasan dapat. Right? Ini pun salah satu possibility. Ataupun uh, P, okay, tadi MY dapat, PY dapat, PM. So what? PM dapat, tapi yang Y tak dapat. Right? This is also possible. Okay, sudah saya ini semua dapat 2, dapat 2. Okay, what about yang dapat 1? So yang dapat 1 is what? Uh, Maybe P dapat tapi 2 M tak dapat, Y tak dapat. Right? Or it can also be dapat 1 for Mara saja yang dapat. So P tak dapat tapi M dapat, tapi Y tak dapat. Right? Means dapat M sajalah. And then the next one is dapat Y saja. So kalau dapat Y saja means Y, and then P prime, M prime. Macam ni. Right? Okay, satu lagi. Ada lagi satu lagi possibilities. Tell me what is satu lagi. Satu lagi possibility is tiga-tiga tak dapat. P prime, M prime, Y prime. So in total got how many possibility? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In total got 8 possibilities. Right? Tapi you tak payah buat semua. Okay, you tak payah buat semua. Kita tak ada masa. If you buat semua probability all this and you add together, you will get 1. Kalau you buat semua lah. You tak payah buat semua. You hanya buat yang soalan suruh you buat je. So yang soalan nak apa? Dia nak yang at least one offer. Dia dapat at least one offer. At least is sekurang-kurangnya satu offer. It means dia kena dapat sekurang-kurangnya satu. Means satu atau lebih lah. You are finding the probability of getting one offer or more than one offer. So yang mana yang boleh ambil? Ini boleh, at least one boleh kan? Sebab dia satu atau lebih kan? So ini tiga-tiga dapat, so boleh lah. Ini pun satu atau lebih mah, dia dapat 2, so okay lah. Ini boleh juga sebab dia dapat 2, ini dapat 2, so boleh. Ini dapat satu, boleh juga. Sebab dia cakap at least one. At least one means satu atau dapat satu atau dapat lebih. So kalau dapat satu boleh terima lah. Ini pun dapat satu, so okay juga. Ini pun okay. Ini tak okay. Ini tak boleh. Sebab ini dia dapat kosong. Semua dia she never get any offer. But they say at least one. At least one means dia kena sekurang-kurangnya dapat satu offer. Okay. Tapi ini tak boleh lah sebab dia dapat kosong. Okay, maksudnya saya kena ambil ini semua cari probability and then tambah semua kan? Okay, tapi lambat lah kalau buat macam ni. Boleh juga tapi lambat sikit. So, if you want to do like that, you have to take what? 3 over 5 times 5 over 9 times 7 over 12. And then dapat probability for this. And then tambah this one. This one you have to take 2 over 5 times 5 over 9 times 7 over 12. And then keep going so on lah. But sangat lambat lah you buat macam ni. Let me teach you a faster method. Do you remember I told you just now, if you buat for semua orang sini, semua possibility, and if you tambah semua, you will dapat satu. Right? Because the total probability is always 1. So, the cara lain is you ambil 1 minus yang you tak mau. Because total semua kan satu. So, you ambil 1 minus probability for P prime, M prime, Y prime lah. So you ambil 1 minus yang you tak mau, dapatlah yang balance. Right? And then the balance, that's the answer lah. And it's faster if you do it like this, right? So what is the probability for P prime, M prime, Y prime? You tengok sini je lah. P prime, M prime, Y prime. So the probability of not getting Petronas times with not getting Mara. This one is not getting 5 or 12. So when you tekan this in your calculator, you will get the answer. Right? Okay, I'll tekan 2 over 5 times 4 over 9 times 5 over 12. 2 over 27. So 1 minus answer, 25 over 27. So A is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's do 39. The mean and standard deviation of a data are 30 and 4.5 respectively. If each observation of data is multiplied by 2 and then subtracted by 3, calculate the new mean and the new standard deviation. Okay, if every data I times 2 minus 3, what happens to my standard deviation 4.5? You don't tell me, oh sir, the 4.5 also times 2 minus 3. No, no, no. The 4.5 will only times 2 saja. So you get 9. So the answer is A and B, C wrong. Okay, what about the new mean? Okay, the new mean, the old mean is 30, right? So if every data times 2 minus 3, the new mean also times 2 minus 3. Yeah. Okay. So 30 times 2, 60, 60 minus 3, 57. So D is the answer. Okay. Okay, let me explain a bit lah. Okay, let me explain a bit. So I will write here if every value, I means every data, times ataupun divide with K. Okay, times atau divide with K. What happens to your new mean? New I will just write new wait, measures of dispersion, it should be new range lah, new range. And then what happens to the new interquartile range, and then new variance. Okay, tapi saya malas, I just use the variance symbol. And then new standard deviation, this is the symbol. Okay, the formula will be take the old range times with times or divide depending on the soalan K, right? And then for new interquartile range, just take the old interquartile range, same thing, times or divide with K. And then for variance, it will be the take the old variance times or divide with K square. This one special. For variance, other square punya. And then new standard deviation is like take the old standard deviation times ataupun divide, okay, depending on the soalan lah, and then with K lah. Okay, what is this? This is my nota. So this notes is when every value, it means every value in the data I darab with something ataupun bahagi dengan something. Contoh, darab 3, right? Then what happens to your range? Ini jawapan. Darab 3 jugalah. Kalau bahagi 2, kalau every value bahagi 2, then your new range also bahagi 2, right? So for interquartile range pun sama macam ni, standard deviation pun sama. Yang special yang you kena focus is this one, the variance, right? Sebab dia ada K square. Dia seorang je yang square. So that one have to be careful, right? Okay, now I want to ask you, what happens if every value time plus or minus, plus or minus with K, what will happen to your measures of dispersion? Okay, it will be no change. No change in measures of dispersion. What is measures of dispersion? Inilah measures of dispersion. Range, interquartile range, variance, ini semua lah. So if I plus minus, my range will not change. Interquartile range will not change. Variance, standard deviation semua tak ada tukar. Kalau plus minus, kalau every value plus minus. So now tell me, this question they says every data, what happens? Each observation of data is multiplied by 2 minus 3. So what happens to your standard deviation? How will it get affected? You have to minus 2 also, you have to times 2. Yeah, you have to times 2 standard deviation. But the minus 3 will not affect your, if every value minus times 2 minus 3, the minus 3 will not affect the standard deviation. So that's why you take 4.5 times 2, that's why it's 9. That's why the standard deviation is 9, right? Okay, but what about the mean? In my nota, I tak ada tulis for mean, right? Okay, listen here. Mean, dia tak ada dalam sini sebab ini semua measures of dispersion. Range, interquartile, variance, ini semua sukatan serakan. Measures of dispersion. Mean is not a sukatan serakan. Mean is sukatan memusat ataupun measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency, dia ada 3. Mean, median, mode. Right? Mean, median, mode. Right? And how will it get affected when you take every value multiplied by 2, subtracted by 3? Okay, let me tell you. The mean, median, mode will get affected the same way. Contoh, kalau saya cakap every value tambah 3 and then bahagi 6. So what happens to your mean, median, mode? Same also. Like tambah 3 bahagi 6 also. Right? Okay. So it will get affected the same way. It doesn't matter. It's like you take plus or minus or times or divide. It will get affected the same way. Right? But for measures of dispersion, it's not like that. Measures of dispersion, it will only get affected when you take every value times or divide with a certain value. Okay, if plus minus, it will have no change, right? So for the mean, the old mean is 30, right? So what happens if you take every value times 2 minus 3? Then your new mean also 30 times 2 minus 3. That's why you end up with 57. D is the answer. Okay? And if you think logically, it makes sense. Because okay, let's say your average marker is 87 marks, right? And let's say your BM, you get 50 mark. BI, you get 52 marks. And then Mathematic, you get 51 marks. And what is your average markah? 50 plus 52 plus 51 and then bahagi 3 kan. Okay, you get 51. Okay. Yeah, if you tambah semua bahagi, you will get 51. Right? Okay, tapi what if I tell you all your markah now I tambah 5 markah? All tambah 5 markah. Okay, what happens to your mean? I mean to your average. To your mean lah. To your average, tambah 5 also lah. Logic mah. Because kalau semua you punya subjek tambah 5, you punya average markah pun tinggi lah. Right? Okay, what if all your average markah tiba-tiba darab 2 and then minus 3. Darab 2 minus 3. So your average pun ikut lah. Ikut sama. Darab 2 minus 3. Alright? Okay, so I hope if I explain like that, you understand lah. Tapi kalau for measures of dispersion, dia lain sikit. Measures of dispersion, you guna yang saya cakap sini. Right? And remember this, if every value tambah tolak dengan any number, dia takkan tukar you punya measures of dispersion jawapan. It means your range answer is still the same, your IQR stay the same, variance stay the same, standard deviation stay the same. Okay, I think I talked for a long time already, but it's important, so that's why I spend a long time talking about it lah. And yeah, I just want you to understand the whole thing. That's why. Okay, this I think I explained enough already. Let's do the last question. Number 40. Diagram 16 is a histogram showing the height of group of prefects in a school. Whenever I see histogram, I will think about boundary. Because when we draw histogram, we will use the boundary in the x-axis, and the y-axis we will use the frequency, right? And the boundary, you have to use both boundary, the lower boundary and the upper boundary, right? Okay, now it says here the model class of the above data is, and then they give you A, B, C, D here. Okay, I remember, okay, this chapter they will come out in paper 2 also sometimes. In paper 2, sometimes they will ask in the graph, they will ask you to use graph paper to draw the histogram, ataupun draw the frequency polygon, ataupun draw the OGIF, right? This chapter is from 5 chapter 8. The measures of dispersion for group data. But this question they never ask you to draw the histogram. They never ask. It's paper 1. Paper 1 takkan suruh lukis one. Paper 1 just bulat-bulat. So dia tak lukis, but instead dia suruh lukis untuk kita. Kita kena tukar balik jadi table. Okay, why we have to tukar balik jadi table? Because they ask for model class. Model class means you have to ambil class yang frequency paling tinggi. Model class means the class with the highest frequency. So in order to know that, we have to convert this back to the table form, right? Usually when you do this in paper 2, they will give you the table, right? You do the table first, then only you draw the graph. This one is like you have to do it in reverse, right? Tapi kalau you power buat histogram, mesti you power tukar balik jadi table also. So let me show you how to do it. So tell me what all these number represent first. Ini semua nilai apa? Ini semua bukan lower limit, upper limit tau. This is not the lower limit and the upper limit of class. You jangan cakap, oh sir, the first class is 149.5 until 15. Bukan. No, this is histogram. And if they label at the kaki of this rectangle, they label at the kaki, it means this is the lower boundary and the upper boundary of the first class. Lower boundary, not lower limit, lower boundary. But what if they label here? Okay, then the number will represent midpoint if they label here lah. Okay, but this one is the lower boundary and upper boundary. And tell me, if the lower boundary is 149.5, what is the lower limit of the class? 150. Okay, and if the upper boundary of the class is 154.5, what is the upper limit? 154. Okay, because when you find lower boundary, you will take the lower limit plus with the last number divide 2. So 149.5 is the lower boundary for this class lah, 150 lah. And then this one is 154. And berapa frequency dia? 8. So 8. Okay. Okay, let's do the next one. Next one, what is the next class? 154.5. What is the lower limit for the next class? So 155, right? Because okay, 155 and then until 159. Okay, because if you write like that, then only it's possible for the lower boundary of this to be 154.5. Okay, faham kan? Kenapa saya tulis 15014? Because if you write like this, then only it's possible for the lower boundary to be 149.5 and the upper boundary to be 154.5. Okay. Okay, and then 155, 159, this one, the frequency is 12, so just right. Okay, next one. This should be 160, right? Yeah, because if the 159.5 is the lower boundary, then the lower limit must be 160. Okay, then only your lower boundary will be 160 plus 159 divide to 159.5. All right. Okay, until 164.5, this is the upper boundary. So if the upper boundary is 164.5, then confirm this one 164. Okay, and then the frequency is 14. Because 12, 16 middle ma. Middle is 14 lah. Okay, almost finished. Next one is 165. Okay, until okay 169.5. This is the upper boundary for this class. So I have to go until 169, right? Uh, then only it's possible ma. If you write 170, mana boleh? If you write 170 then the upper boundary become 170.5. Then is surah tak surah salah lah. Should be 169. Then only the upper boundary makes sense to be 169.5. And berapa frequency dia? Kekerapan dia 9 bukan 8, 12 middle. This one is 10. Ya, sebab dia sebab dia satu kotak tambah 2. Okay. Because here plus 4, right? So means satu kotak tambah 2. So tambah 2, that's why it's 10 lah. Okay. 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay, so this one is 10. Okay, last class. Okay, tell me if the low boundary is 169.5, what I have to write here? 170 lah. You jangan cakap you tulis 169 here. If you write 169, then later you punya low boundary jadi 168.5. Salah lah. Salah. Should be 170 mah. 170. Okay, so 170, then baru your lower boundary 169.5, and then the upper boundary is 174 lah. Sebab kalau macam ni, then baru possible you punya upper boundary jadi 174.5. Okay, sekarang frekuensi dia berapa? 4, tapi tambah satu kotak means tambah 2, so 6 ini. Okay, now we can tentukan model class. Model class is the class with the highest frequency. Siapa frekuensi paling tinggi? 14. So that means the model class is 160 to 164. So A is the answer. Okay. Okay, I think B cannot because B dia bukan frekuensi paling tinggi. C and D is not even the class. This one is wrong. Ini bukan cara untuk tulis kelas Kita tak boleh just ambil nilai ni. Ini semua nilai lower boundary, upper boundary. You cannot just put it in like this. Itu salah. Okay, so this is how I would do it. So hope you understand. Okay, this is the last question. So I'm done with the paper. So if you find this video helpful, if you find it useful, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next video. Okay, bye bye.